It's been a long week, but we made it, baby. We made it, and we have a big game on Sunday. A big game. We're going to talk all about it today. We'll talk a little Warriors with Anthony Slater at 8 o'clock. You heard from Joe Spadoni on the pregame show. Slater at 8 o'clock as the Warriors open up training camp tomorrow at Chase Center. Media days on Sunday. And then the boys will go to Japan. Their first game will be next Friday, 3 in the morning, West Coast time. 3 in the morning. We'll see how many people wake up for that when the Warriors go to Japan to take on the Wizards. But we have a lot of Niners stuff.
I know. I was thinking just 3 hours of let's try and to determine which one of the players of Moody, Kuminga, and Wiseman we're going to pay 17 years from now.
17 years from now? What about 20?
You know how people are, especially at this station.
Let's talk lifetime contracts. There's a lot to talk about with the Warriors.
Which
so they got
assistant coach can you not afford to pay 16 years from now?
Let me see. Oh, wow. I guess that was too loud. 707. Hey, tell Bonte to keep his voice down during the show, Joey. Can hear him in the background. Remember the other day I got on Shasky about that. Driving in, I heard Shasky yelling through the airways. I'm sorry, 707 Comcast Business Text Line, but good morning to everybody out there. Getting off of work, getting off your graveyard shift. If you're at work, what has happened? If you're getting ready for work and you're on the roadways, drive safely here on a Friday. It's not a payday Friday, but a Frisco Friday / Phil Collins Friday with Spadoni on the board. Lumpman, good morning to you. Good morning to YouTube, Twitch.
I was thinking
Comcast Business Text Line, and you, Joe Shasky.
A filthy Phil Mo Friday?
I like that. A little for that filthy.
Have you heard that commercial for the 49ers selling tickets?
Shout out to Leroy.
And they did a whole new remix to that.
Actually, let me not call him by his government name. Mo Betachetta. Shout out to Mo Betachetta.
Mo money, Mo better?
Mo money, Mo better, baby. Mo Betachetta. Let's go. It's a big game on Sunday, Shasky. You got your jersey on. I like that number 1 jersey, the old school white throwback, white uniforms of Montana days.
Like that?
I love those. Those are so clean with the 3 stripes on the side. Look.
I've got a new rule on jerseys.
What's the rule?
Well, so many players are coming and going, and I don't feel appropriate buying somebody who's half my age, who could be my son's age jersey. So now, from here on out, unless it's a legend, I think I'm going to go straight up, Shasky customized.
Yeah, like I can't see myself rocking a Trey Lance or Brendan Ayuk jersey. I love those guys.
Me too.
But I just turned 40.
That's what I'm saying.
What am I doing?
I know.
Ray Rado had that rule. Yeah. If somebody's younger than you, you can't wear the jersey.
Well, we can disagree. I mean, I'll wear a Steph Curry jersey at the Russian River.
You want to wear
Steph?
Like, all right. I still wear the Jay Rich.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But Ray, I mean, God bless him. I mean, this is a guy in 110-degree heat that'd be wearing a cardigan sweater.
He looks good, man. He lost a lot of weight.
I'm not sure if I really want to be taking fashion tips from him.
Hey, I see you rock the cardigan.
Oh, yeah, but
we all rock the
mine
cardigan.
Looks good.
So, look, man. Yesterday, you had a half-hearted attempt at trying to rally people around Jimmy Garoppolo.
What do you mean?
You didn't even believe what the hell you were saying.
What are you talking about?
You're trying to
rally
around Jimmy, and it was so much pain in your voice.
What are you talking about?
So much pain in your voice doing that. You're just like, gotta rally around Jimmy, and you're like, I can't believe I'm saying that. But look,
do you think the coach? Do you think the coach even is like 100% rallying behind Jimmy? This is a guy he's been trying to get rid of forever. I say that tongue in cheek.
Look.
They have to. We have to as a fan base.
We have to rally around Jimmy. And there's some things Jimmy said yesterday that I really, really liked. I really liked. He basically was like, I want to open this bad boy up. He was asked by Grant Cohn of Sports Illustrated, basically like, do you have the leeway to throw it down the field? Do you want to throw it down the field? And we'll get to that sound in just a second.
Is he like the only... for just a second, can we just put a pause button on this?
Pause.
Imagine in 2022... when wide receiver play is the best it's ever been. Like, there are 4 and sometimes up to 8 guys coming out of every draft who we believe to be, unique, ridiculous playmakers in the passing game. And then the randoms come out of nowhere. Your boy George Pickens last night making an incredible Odell Beckham play. You got to Chase Claypool, for example.
Real quick, they got to calm him down.
What?
He complains a lot for a rookie, and I like the kid.
No, I
really like the kid.
I wanted Trubisky was your quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, just not too. Oh my God, he's so bad.
Didn't we know this?
But Kirk Herbstreit was trying to pump him up in the fourth. Look at that throw. See when he stands in the pocket, delivers a good. Kirk, he's a bum. He's trash.
Well, Kirk, I love you. Go back to college.
Go back to college.
I know. I would have taken the money too. We all would have taken the money.
Take that money.
It just feels like he's watching the game with his father-in-law, Al Michaels, and they're in the living room. It doesn't feel like they're on the same page.
No, you guys don't think it's refreshing a little bit? I like his college angle in the NFL.
No, I mean, I love Kirk Herbstreit, but I just don't think, when I hear his voice,
I think college football.
I think college football.
Yeah, I don't get NFL
whether that's
vibes.
even fair or not to him. What I would have done, this is me, if I was Amazon, I would have paired up Gus Johnson with Richard Sherman.
Oh, that's a great
That's
call.
what I would have done. I would have gone very unique and intense, and I think Gus brings it. I think Richard Sherman. Here's the other thing I've noticed. Herbstreit, former college quarterback. I'm quarterbacked out in the booth.
Yeah.
I want different perspective. Now, I'm not...
linebackers.
Like Moose
no
Johnson played fullback. I think he's
I like
good.
that. I like Mark Schlereth.
I do too.
Yep.
I like
you get a little perspective on the line.
But when I listen to the halftime show, I'm like, Tony G, I love you. I know that your ex-wife is now dating Bezos, and that's why you're on this show.
That's a lot of information.
Well, that's why he's on the show.
Wait, his ex-wife is dating Bezos?
Yes.
So he's still...
Yes.
Wait a minute.
And Bezos hooked him up with the halftime show.
He hooked up basically his new wife's ex-husband.
Yes.
Why are they still friends?
Well, because the kids.
Oh, okay.
You know, they're all, it's a nuclear family, or whatever they call it.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
So he felt sorry for Tony G and got him a job on Amazon.
Well, Tony G's doing just fine.
I mean, I know he's doing just fine, but
doesn't he, not fit? Like, he doesn't, you look at the panel, even Ryan...
I'm not a Ryan Fitzpatrick guy.
He thinks he's Pat McAfee.
I'm not feeling it.
I am so out on him.
He says nothing.
Yeah, agreed.
He says nothing.
But my big takeaway from their halftime show is Sherman needs to be on more.
Yeah, Sherman.
Right? And so I would have tried to pair up Gus Johnson with Richard Sherman. I think the sound would have been so refreshing.
So with Sherman, it was interesting you say that because last night watching the post-game show, and I had it down. I was like, all right, I'm in the computer. I'm
the 4K.
Out. The 4K
looks
does look
so
good.
much better.
I kind of like the elf in midfield, too. For
it looks incredible.
I kind of like it. And thank God they went back to the throwback uniforms. But I'm watching it, and it was on silent. It was on mute. And then Sherman started talking, and I found myself saying, you know what? I need to hear what Sherman had to say.
Exactly.
Like, I wanted to hear what Sherman, as much as I couldn't stand Sherman as a player, and I don't like the way he left the 49ers, but he knows what the heck he's talking about. And he's confident in what he's talking about. And presence on camera. He has that presence.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to just shoot from his hip and say what's on his mind, and he teaches you something.
He really does. And does he have favorites in terms of people that he likes and doesn't like? Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
But when I'm listening to him talk, he makes the very complicated seem quite simple.
Yep.
And that's I think we've kind of forgotten about John Madden because it's been so many years removed.
Let's play some Madden last
Part
night.
of what made him so brilliant was that he would explain complicated concepts in a very simplistic way.
Yep.
And I feel like Sherman, again, I'm not saying he's Madden, but what I'm saying is I think he's a great broadcaster.
No, he is.
And I would have gone, and I understand why they didn't, because you want to get Al Michaels' credibility, and you want Herbstreit because he's a professional, and you're going to try. You don't want to experiment with your first week.
But I look at this. I look at this as a startup, though. Thursday Night Football. It's on Amazon. We like all their coverage, like the Amazon. You know how they got the Amazon, which is really cool, and they do some different things.
The production is through the roof.
Production's through the roof. Gus Johnson's a good call because we all love Gus Johnson. He makes every game feel like a Super Bowl.
That's why I like Gus.
I want these games, standalone primetime games. I want them big.
Yeah,
I want the intensity. I want to be fight like Cincinnati, Miami's a big Thursday night game.
Well, and this is the problem I got with Al Michaels. And I've been there, done that, like with him. Like I know a lot of people are Al Michaels homers and they love him. Mm-hmm. He's 80. And I'm not trying to be ageist. I'm just saying, like, if you're launching something brand new, I understand wanting the credibility that an Al Michaels brings. It makes total sense.
Yep.
Me personally, I would have been looking for the new sound. And I understand why they didn't. It's a completely new launch. You're starting from scratch. I would have gone Gus. This is just me, Gus Johnson, and I would have gone Richard Sherman. To me, Richard Sherman is underserved.
Even Akeem Talib. But I know what happened. His brother's into some stuff. But I thought when Fox went Gus Johnson and Akeem Talib for that select package of games, what do they do? Like 7 or 8 games, and Talib's in the booth with his little long sleeve on or his turtleneck with the chains over him. I'm like, man, Talib he's funny, and that slang goes something different.
It sounds unique. It sounds really, really refreshing, and I appreciate it. That's the thing with Richard Sherman. There are times where he's like super football nerdy, and then there's other times where he's just like one of the dudes talking. Like he knows how to kind of weave in between them from sentence to sentence. So and maybe I'm just overhyping liking Richard Sherman, but I really like him.
Dave Johnson does say something, though, Dave Johnson on YouTube. Browns versus Steelers doesn't move the needle no matter who is in that poof. There may be something to that. Trubisky on one side, Brissett played well.
But it's early in the season, and how many people have fantasy implications?
Steelers, Browns coming off that. I almost thought they were going to blow the onside kick again for the second straight week. But they Pittsburgh ended up going offsides. And in the end, now you're not a gambler. You're not a gambler.
Al Michaels is.
And I know a lot of gamblers, and I always watch this stuff. A lot of people yesterday are saying, take the under in that game. The over-under, some people got it at 37.5. Some people got it at 38.5.
1 second.
So,
Spadoni, did anyone from this station have money vocally on the game?
Yes.
Guru had Steelers plus 4.5.
I think so. But if you listen to Willard and Dibbs, all four of us picked the Browns to win this game.
That's good.
Wow.
So that's good.
So you're picking outright winners, Adam Myers.
So Pittsburgh kicked the field goal late in the game on 4th down, which screwed a lot of people. That shattered the under. It was like, why are you going to kick a field goal? They settled for a field goal instead of going for it, and that killed the under. Now, some people had Steelers and the Steelers-Browns over-under at 46.5 because you could tease it up. You could tease it up 9 points. You could tease it up. You see what happened on the last play of the game?
No.
Pittsburgh gets the ball inside their own 5-yard line. They're throwing it around. They fumble. Browns recover for a defensive touchdown. And so for people who started Cleveland Browns defense like your boy, you get points for that touchdown. Some people had Pittsburgh in that teaser and that over-under. They got screwed. Hell, you may have gotten screwed if you had Pittsburgh in the teaser plus the points.
Or if you had Najee Harris, he fumbled. That's minus a couple points.
That's minus a couple points. So that implication, and of course I get a text from Phillies who I haven't heard from forever. He only texts me when something's going bad in his household. I mean, well, when I say household, I mean his gambling. That's the worst beat I ever had. The worst beat ever. So there's a lot of people who lost money on that play. So, Shaska, you got to get to the gambling here because that was a tough play right there. That's a tough scene to see that happen. And lose money like that, some people's parlays are shot. Some people's teasers were shot. That's a brutal beat.
So I only play fantasy, and I struggle at that these days. I'm not as good. I feel like I'm not as good as I used to be. But I don't know how you guys do it with the gambling. Like, straight up. I would lose my mind.
Yeah, you can't gamble. You couldn't gamble.
I mean, I lose my mind over my teams without money on it.
Yeah, you couldn't
just
gamble.
Emotion.
The gambling thing is just every play is amplified times 1,000. Every single play, every sequence. You get a 2nd and 7, you're stressing like, all right, I need at least 5 yards here. You know, it's not good. It's not for everybody. It's not.
Did you see the video I sent to the group thread the other day of the Chicago Bear kid who's draped in Chicago Bear outfit and his girlfriend's videoing him and he's damn near ready to cry after the team loses?
Yeah, that was all over the TikTok video. Yeah, and he's like, I've been best friends with the Bears for 22 years. I've known you for 2 months. Get out of my house.
That's me. I mean, that literally was the embodiment of everything. Now, you take that fandom, okay, and that emotion, and you try betting. I would lose my mind.
No, you would.
I would be off my rocker.
You couldn't bet. You couldn't bet. Betting's not for everybody, and I've even taken a couple weeks off now. I got off to a hot start. I deposited.
How do you know when to take a time off?
Well, because I put $200 in.
Okay.
I got it up to $700.
Oh.
Got it back down to $100.
Trying to afford one of the new Jordans or the new this
I'm
and that?
I'm Jordan out. I've got enough shoes. I can't buy any shoes. I've actually given away shoes.
For you.
But no, and I went back up, and I was just like, it's just too much. It's too much. I'm betting on all the games. I'm chasing. So now my account's back at 0 because my last bet was Alabama, Texas, and I had Alabama team total in the first half. Bryce Young and them, and I was just like, damn it. And I was like, you know what?
And the quarterback went down, and you were feeling real good, huh?
Real good. Oh, I was feeling great.
Yeah.
What's his name? Ewers?
He's got a mullet.
He's got the long
That's
hair.
all
He
I
does
know.
throw a good ball.
No, he does a really good ball.
But yeah, no, I was like, yeah, I can't bet anymore. I'm going to just take a break.
You brought up college, and now that we're here, and we're going to get into the 49ers, that kid who plays defensive end, I think it's Will Anderson for Alabama.
32, right? Number 32?
I'm convinced he's a top 5 D end already in the NFL.
Yeah, he's legit.
No, he's ridiculous.
He looks legit.
I mean, Jadeveon Clowney looked like a man amongst children. Not even boys, just children. And then I'm looking at this guy. But he's a monster.
Are your weddings going towards Anna's ring fund? Hey, why are you guys doing this? Comcast Business Sex Line 650.
You kind of brought it on yourself, bud.
Bonte can't buy anything. He needs to save money for that ring.
Go from boyfriend to hubby.
Liberty
so let's
Eli.
make that happen this year. Okay?
Golden State. Nope. I'm not telling you who I bet with. Dave Johnson, Bonte stacking for that ring. Liberty Eli. Bonte waiting for those Warrior checks to come in. You're damn right about that.
All right, let me run through a couple here. I know, because we're going to get into the football,
hey,
NFL.
You know Warrior checks coming soon, baby. That can't come soon enough. Hurry up, baby. I'm so happy.
All right, so let me just roll through a couple college games because I'm really fired up to talk 49ers.
Yes.
All right, Michigan, Maryland. Did that do anything for you?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, Baylor, Iowa State.
Ugh.
Rhode Island, Pittsburgh.
Oh, my gosh.
Kent State versus Georgia. The fighting Julian Edelmans.
Oh, my God. The Golden Flashes.
All right, here's the best matchup, I believe, or two of the best matchups that we've got going here. We got Clemson, Wake Forest.
Not bad. 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, two ranked teams. Florida, Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm out on Florida. They got the big win early in the season against Utah. They struggled against South Florida. They lost to Kentucky. Not high on them. Tennessee, this is a big game for them.
Arkansas, Texas A&M.
That may be the best game on the board. And it's at a neutral site. It's at Jerry's World.
Look at you.
Dallas, Texas, yeah.
And then, of course, the nightcap, Stanford, Washington?
Yuck. Sorry, Stanford. Yuck. Actually, you know what's a good game? Very sneaky.
Huh.
Oregon at Washington State. Wazoo 3-0. They beat Wisconsin in Madison.
Well, once they got rid of the entire staff and everything, they've just completely changed. I love their matte gray helmets.
Yeah, you know who the guy was. Rolovich, Friday City College, Pacifica. There's USC, Oregon State is a sneaky trap game. USC only 6-point favorites in that Oregon State game in Corvallis.
I'm going to throw this out there. What's it going to cost to get Lincoln Riley to the NFL?
I thought you were going to say something else.
What?
What is it going to cost to get Lincoln Riley to Santa Clara?
Oh.
I was like, damn, you're already there, Shasky?
No, I'm asking to the NFL in general.
I think he's at USC for another 2 years, and he's out.
It's obvious, like he's
taking
good. He's big time.
He's taking that leap.
It's big time, right?
He's taking that leap.
Is Caleb going to be the number one quarterback taken?
I wouldn't take him number one. Not right now.
You're still going to take the Ohio State kid, probably?
I like Bryce in Alabama.
He's so little.
He's so little, but you know what? There's something about him at the end of the game.
I know. He
99-yard drive against Auburn.
But he's like 5'10".
I know. CJ Stroud is nice, though. I do like CJ.
He's nice, too. Yes, I agree. He's skinny, though.
I will probably, you know what? I'd probably take Caleb. But I didn't like, Caleb is good. He misses a lot of open dudes, though. He makes the wrong read.
He's got to be in the right system.
Right. No doubt. Caleb's nice, though. Caleb is nice.
And that concludes college football conversation for this week.
What's Bonte's Venmo or Cash App? I don't know. Used to be a big, say 650, Comcast Business Text Line. Can't lie, Bonte. Used to be a big sports gambler. I closed my account when I started saving for my ring when I proposed to my wife. A lot less stressful.
SOFT.
Betting is stressful. It is straight. And I look at the spreads all the time. I'm looking at teasers. And I'm just like, you know what? My life is better when I don't bet. Like last year was the first year in 5 where I didn't bet. It felt good.
All year.
Oh,
here we go.
Bet on a couple bowl games.
Come on, Pinocchio.
I bet on a couple bowl games. I did. I'm not going to lie.
The Beef O'Brady Bowl?
No. What did I bet on? The Music City Bowl?
Papa's got the rent on the Beef O'Brady Bowl, kids.
The Music City Bowl. Music City Bowl. I bet on Caribbean Bowl. Yeah. Guys, it's sports talk or gambling talk. Hey, listen, all right. Relax, 5-0. We're going to get to the Niners.
We were just talking about last night's game.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. This game on Sunday, huge game. It's a huge game for Shanahan because he's going back home. This is where he learned football. This is the place he learned football. Colorado, Denver, where his dad coached for a long time for the Broncos.
His dad's in the Ring of Honor. He's going to walk into that stadium and see his dad in the Ring of Honor.
This is where he learned his concepts. This is where he learned football. So he's going back home. And Jimmy Garoppolo has a chance to rally the troops. With George Kittle back in the lineup. Brandon Ayuk and Debo. George Kittle has a chance to stick his Jimmy Garoppolo has a chance to stick his middle finger at everybody.
Like, who's Kittle flipping off?
Yeah, he's not flipping off anybody.
Is he at Raw
He's
this
not
week?
flipping off anybody. Jimmy Garoppolo's flipping off everybody. And it's time for him to take the reins. We're going to talk all about it. We'll play some Jimmy sound on the other side. We'll talk about Shanahan going back home. Huge game and a huge show here on the Roast. Joe Shasky, the Butcher. Actually, Joe Shasky the Gambler and Bonta Hill right here on 95.7 The Game.
Only thing hot about the Indianapolis Colts right now is their run on unders. They've hit the under in both games this season quite easily last week as they were shut out by the Jags. Dating back to last season, the Colts have now hit the under in 7 straight games. This week, they get Kansas City, who can definitely score. But with a high total of 50.5, take a long look at the under. Helping you beat the books, I'm Chelsea Messenger.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to GetRefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50.
Join the conversation on 95.7 The Game with the Xfinity mobile text line. Text 888-957-9570.
From the 510, Ray looks great in teal. I think we can all agree. From the 650.
Stop. Don't do this.
Ray Ratto makes me hate sports and life. Love you guys, though. So that, that's nice.
Text the text line at 888-957-9570. Xfinity Mobile. Your wireless, your rules.
Golfers, now at the Golf Mart, it's time to hit faster, longer, and straighter with Titleist. The new TSR drivers are designed to maximize distance and elevate your performance. Titleist TSR driver, pushing for perfection every day. Come into the Golf Mart for the new Titleist TSR drivers and get custom fit for free today. Can't make it in store? Visit us online at worldwidegolfshops.com. The Golf Mart, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee and family owned and operated since 1984.
Man, I slept.
New ZQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep is made for people who are tired of being tired.
I've never slept like this before. I've never woken up like this before.
A melatonin-free sleep aid made with a botanical blend that contains clinically studied and effective valerian root, hops, and passion flower, shown to help promote better restorative sleep. ZQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep. Sleep this good, feel this good. Available at retailers near you.
When Big Mobile charges you an arm and a leg, they're taking your money and your power. And your arm and leg. Boost Mobile gives your power back with an unlimited plan for $25 a month on one of America's largest 5G networks. We can't give you back your arm and your leg because we're not qualified surgeons. Unless you're an iguana who can grow limbs back. Switch to Boost and get an unlimited plan for $25 a month. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. New customers only. One line, $25 per month with auto pay. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
Kevin Hart's Reality Check Tour is coming to Chase Center on October 1st. And 95.7 The Game has your tickets. Listen to Willard and Dibs all this week around 10:30 for your chance to win.
I tell you one thing about Jimmy Garoppolo's game. There is nobody who spins it any better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Tight spiral, he gets on his receivers quick, fast, in a hurry.
Just got to be accurate. Off the play fake. Garoppolo, he's got a tight end. It is Ross Dwelly. And Ross Dwelly lunging in for the touchdown.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
I jumped the gun there. Adam Amin and Stink, Mark Schlereth, who said Jimmy Garoppolo could spin it better than anyone in the league. Stink may want to take that one back, but Jimmy Garoppolo throwing a touchdown pass to Ross Dwelly last week against Seattle as the Niners did get their first victory of the season. And it sets up a big-time matchup against Denver because the way I'm looking at it, Shasky, these two games, it's a big swing for the Niners. After everything that's happened, I'm going to let you get in here in a second.
It's just so funny.
I know.
No one spins it better in the league.
It's just like,
not some guy Tom Brady.
No.
Not some guy Patrick Mahomes.
Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen.
I mean, I love Jim. We all love Jim. Come on. Do we have to be that hyperbolic? Can't we just say, he's a good player? Imagine, no one shoots it better than Mike Connolly. We would laugh,
yes,
right?
I know.
No one hit. It's like, I love Krugin Kipe. Krugin Kipe, there is not a better fastball hitter in the league than the guy they just DFA'd. What's that guy's name? What was his name? Come on.
Willie Calhoun.
Willie Calhoun. Krugin Kipe we're talking about, and I love them both so much. And they're Giants homers like me. And they're like Willie Calhoun, one of the best fastball hitters in the league. It's like, no, Aaron Judge is one of the best fastball hitters in the league.
Willie Calhoun's been stuck in the minors for a reason. He was one of the best fastball hitters in the league.
And Jimmy's better than
He would have
Willie
been up 4 years ago when he was a hot prospect with the Dodgers.
Why do we have to do this?
Oh, and I'm not hating.
No,
I'm not hating on
either,
Jimmy.
But can we
come on?
Why do we have to go flying? He's not horrible, and he's also not the best player in the league.
Right.
He's somewhere in the top, I don't know, third or so.
Right.
Give or take.
Right. No, it's just, come on, man. Come on. He's not.
It's just funny.
It is funny. But look.
And then I love how Adam Amin goes, if he's accurate.
If he's accurate. He threw that in right away. If he's accurate. But look, it's Jimmy's time to shine. It's Jimmy's time to shine.
This is a huge game.
Huge game for it's a huge game for Jimmy. It's a huge game for the 49ers to improve to 2-1. And then if they improve to 2-1, and now I'm not looking past the Denver Broncos, but it sets up a situation to where after the first quarter of the season, losing the starting quarterback, not having Jimmy Ward for the first 4 games, you can be 3-1. And Denver's beat up. We'll talk to Benjamin Albright at 8:30. Denver's got a lot of injuries on that team.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries. They could take advantage of this. And then, of course, the Rams haven't looked like world beaters. So.
And I keep going back to Jimmy because I guess my question is, what is it going to look like how is it different? Is it the same as last year? Are they going to be more conservative because of his lack of repetitions with some of the other players on the team and the fact that he's still coming back from the shoulder injury, which I feel like we don't know enough about? Like, is he 100% healthy?
Right.
Can he throw it? Well, 60 times if they needed to? I don't even know the answer to these things.
Where's the shoulder?
Exactly.
The power, the strength. So here's the first question. Yesterday, Jimmy met the media. He's now the starting quarterback. Obviously, Trey Lance is out for the season with a broken ankle. Jimmy was asked on if being the 49er starter again is surreal.
Yes and no. There's I don't know, part of me, you always want to be on that field, so it's you always have that in your mind that you're preparing that way, and then just for how things have worked out, it's pretty crazy, but I don't know, everything happens for a reason. I'm a big believer in that, and just it's just another opportunity.
On the difference between being a backup and starter, Jimmy?
Yeah, definitely. Just the preparation. You don't get the same reps when you're the backup, so your mental preparation is different. Running scout team, I love running scout team. It's always fun, so got to do that for a couple weeks. But yeah, now it's just back to normal, I guess.
He was on the scout team. You go from starting quarterback in the NFC Championship game to being on a scout team, which is just wild.
What's reasonable to even expect from him?
I don't know. But Grant Combs, Sports Illustrated, asked him on wanting to throw the ball downfield more.
I love that. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of things that go with that, obviously, but yeah, I love doing that stuff. In 17, there was a freedom where me, the receivers, tight ends, we had a good chemistry going, and when you get that with offensive skills in a quarterback, it makes for a tough offense.
And then he said he felt more freedom, possibly coming off the bench.
I don't know. That's a fair question. I think we'll see that as we go forward, but I don't know. The more freedom you have as a quarterback, obviously you play better, you're more confident, and good things will happen.
So he had a lot more freedom coming off the bench. He had a lot more freedom in 2017 because he didn't know the entire playbook. But Jimmy looked good in 2017, and it felt like he was hinting at, hey, just let me go. Let me go. Didn't it sound like that he basically was implying that Shanahan has maybe held him back a little bit because Shanahan is so rigid in his ways and he wants you to run his system, his way.
Restrictor plates.
Yeah, exactly.
Restrictor plates. I went back and obviously we've all seen the game. They didn't score a lot of touchdowns. He was 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, about 1,500 yards in the 5 games that he played down the stretch. Some pretty good numbers. Pretty good numbers. Even if you told me, Joe, he is going to throw more interceptions, I would say if he's pushing the ball down the field, I'm willing to concede that. I really am. I would be okay with a few more Jimmy Ono throws if there were some Jimmy throw it past 20-yard throws. Just because I feel like this roster is a little more comprehensive to be able to utilize the throwing the down the field. Like Danny Gray. You drafted Danny Gray to stretch the field. Brandon Ayuk, he's a year older.
Right.
Like there's a lot of elements on this team where I think that it actually is more conducive to take the restrictor plates off of Jimmy Garoppolo and allow him to rip it downfield.
You mentioned Ayuk being a year older. Kittle's back this Sunday. All signs are pointing towards George Kittle playing on Sunday Night Football. You can make the argument that this is the best supporting cast. Well, you look at the running back situation, they're banged up, but Jimmy's played with Jeff Wilson Jr. Hell, he hit him with a game-winning touchdown back in 2019 against Arizona.
He was the 2020 leading rusher.
Right, but you can make the argument that this is probably his best supporting cast since he's been a 49er. And so why not let them rip it? You talk about his 2017 numbers. Who's he throwing to? Kendrick Bourne.
Lewis Murphy.
Trent Taylor.
I know.
Dante Pettis was still out there.
Yeah. No, I don't think Dante was on. He was in 2018. He was 2018.
But 2018, no, you're right. You're right. Kendrick Bourne, Trent Taylor,
Lewis Murphy. Yeah, it was a who's who of nothing.
Right. So
that's what it was.
So, he's got a lot of weapons here. And then he was asked if he's motivated by the
Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde.
Yeah.
And then he was asked if he was motivated on the 49ers moving on from him.
Not really. I think it lights a fire under you. I'll tell you that. Obviously, as a competitor, whenever you get told something like that, it'll get you going a little bit. But, I have plenty of motivation. I don't need that to motivate me, but it always helps.
So what does a motivated Jimmy look like? Because I think he was motivated last year with all the rumblings and Trey Lance sitting on the sideline holding the clipboard, knowing that they had drafted his replacement. But this feels different. This feels like he knows this is the last ride for sure. And he's going to have a chance to go.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not sure about that. Who knows?
I'm kind of done trying to predict what's going to happen.
I'm not even going to speculate, but it does feel like he has that mentality.
No, I agree.
This is the last ride.
I agree with the mentality.
This is the last ride. And if I ball out, millions of dollars are coming back my way. Millions.
Especially after watching Trubisky last night.
Jimmy can get a big time bag if he just is serviceable, he doesn't turn the ball over, and his team stacks wins. They stack wins, Shasky. Garoppolo's going to be the toast of the town.
Yeah. Look, I want to continue talking about Jimmy G on the other side.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We're going to talk Jimmy G and take your phone calls. 888-957-9570. I want to know from Niner fans, what are their expectations for Jimmy Garoppolo? What is it? How can we expect anything? What should we expect? I want to hear from the fans out here. 888-957-9570. That's coming up. Brought to you by Fremont Bank. Full service banking. No compromises.
It's a Football Friday on 95.7 The Game.
Shanahan is the play caller. Shanahan needs to be in lockstep with Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the growth I need to see moving forward.
We're talking Niners, Broncos all day long.
This Jimmy Garoppolo thing has invigorated me. This is fascinating. But now it's over. And no, it's not. Oh my gosh, no.
This is the Bay Area's sports station. 95.7 The Game.
Elise and Carl's Bakery needed a small business loan fast, but instead of going to On Deck, Carl called
Lone Falcon!
Really? Carl?
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. Go to OnDeck.com. And if approved, get your loan as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah Chartered Industrial Bank member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
Ever since I got the new Galaxy Z Flip 4, I've been learning all these new tricks with my dog Finn. Like how to take the best selfies at the park. I just set my phone down, put it in flex mode, and capture hands-free pics from multiple angles. Aww. Or how to capture our training sessions for his followers. I simply wave my hand to start recording video. Good boy! Plus, the Z Flip 4 is compact and fits perfectly in my pocket.
Oh, wow! Visit Samsung.com today to get the new Galaxy Z Flip 4.
Fremont Bank. If there's one thing we understand more than anybody, it's that it takes a local bank to really get the needs of local businesses. Fremont Bank has the flexibility and motivation to service your business loan needs like other banks can't or won't. With our full suite of business loan products and recognition as a top SBA lender in the Bay Area, Fremont Bank is the right choice for local and family-owned businesses. Fremont Bank. Learn more at fremontbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Come into Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill September 23rd through September 25th for their fall clearance sale event. Take advantage of factory direct prices, one-of-a-kind opportunities, special pricing on floor models, and convenient financing. And save on new appliances from trusted brands like Miele, Bosch, Electrolux, LG, and Maytag. Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill for their fall clearance sale event September 23rd through September 25th for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
T-Mobile believes customers deserve to get more without paying more. Everything from entertainment benefits like Netflix on Us, to travel benefits, to Scam Shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's like paying for nosebleed seats and getting to sit in the front row.
That's right. At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max Plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected.
Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in Max's monthly price. Price Lock guarantees rate price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions apply. See details at T-Mobile.com.
It's Joe Shasky from the Morning Roast. And if you're an independent restaurateur or are starting a brand new business, then you gotta know about my friends at Trimark. Trimark, making independent restaurateurs' dreams come true in Northern California for over 55 years. Whether you're designing your next restaurant or you need equipment and supplies, this is where Trimark comes in. They do it all. And what's most important to them is being a partner to their business customers. Visit TrimarkWest.com. That's TrimarkWest.com.
At Harris Ranch, we do beef, just like we've done for over 50 years. Beef that's raised locally right here in California. Tender steaks, awesome burgers, and California classics like tri-tip roast. The flavor you crave, the quality you trust time after delicious time. Come on, it's time to get out and grill. Harris Ranch, we do beef. Legendary beef, legendary quality.
At Right Way Garage Doors, we consider what we do inspired craftsmanship. We see our craftsmen as artists using wood, glass, and metal as their brushes. Your home is their canvas. Their work inspired by the vision you have for your home's first impression. Right Way Garage Doors has been delivering the highest quality work with the right value and the right customer experience for 42 years. So when inspiration strikes, our design pros are there to help bring your vision to life the right way. Schedule your mobile showroom visit today at rwgaragestores.com.
Heard my little sis is buying a car. You'll need my secret guide.
Gross, no way. I already used Capital One Auto Navigator.
I bet your credit score
wasn't impacted at all, so ha. I got my real rate and monthly payment, had an amazing test drive at the dealership, and made the purchase.
Taking the easy way out. That's so you.
Still not getting it. That's so you. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/autonavigator.
Hurry into the Energy Savings Event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major appliances, including Whirlpool energy-efficient appliances. You can also save with a smart thermostat. Right now, select Google Nest Learning thermostats are $60 off. Plus, find other great energy-saving items throughout the store and check your eligibility for rebates in your area to save even more. Don't miss the Energy Savings Event at Lowe's. Selection varies by location. Exclusions apply. Visit Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 9/28.
It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Breaking news on 95.7 The Game is brought to you by Beat the Street. For tips to win a $5.6 million prize. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh my God.
Now, back to the Morning Roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Doesn't Guru always lie about how this song gets him going? This is like his top 5 song or something. Like, Guru, stop lying. You don't like this song. I can feel it coming in the air.
Okay.
Tonight.
I was like, are you going to finish the song?
That's all I know. Then Mike Tyson sing this in The Hangover?
Yeah.
He knocked out your boy.
Yeah. My boy?
Yeah, what's his name? Zach what?
I don't know.
Zach Galifianakis.
There you go. Boom.
Question for you. Is it going to be raining on Sunday?
No.
In Denver?
So here's the weather update.
Okay.
We don't have an official update. Weather for Denver, Sunday Night Football, 76 degrees.
We're going to go to our meteorologist, Bonte Hill.
Right.
Bonte is sitting in downtown Denver right now. Bonte, what's the weather looking like Sunday night?
Hey, Joe, I got to say, man, it's a cool, crisp day, 76 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. Get this, the 49ers' first 2 games were played in the rain. There's not a single chance, 0% chance of rain today at Empower Field in Denver, Colorado. But the winds will be about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Shouldn't be a factor in the kicking game, Joe. Now back to you.
Hallelujah.
Here's the Tylenol.
Woo! Aren't you happy?
No rain.
Thank God.
No rain. No rain.
Thank God.
By the way, do not forget the kickoff show with Larry and Lorenzo Neal starts at 3 p.m. this Sunday because it is Sunday Night Football. Larry and Lowe will lead you right up until kickoff. The show is presented by Harris Ranch Beef, legendary quality, and Jim Beam Bourbon Whiskey. Taste the world's #1 bourbon. No doubt about that. That bourbon is really, really good. Harris Ranch beef as well.
I have a very simple question.
What's up?
What is reasonable to expect from Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't even know. Like right now, I'm looking at it and I'm saying like 200 yards passing. And I'm not ripping him. I'm saying like run the ball control, 200-yard passing. A touchdown, an interception. Like if you told me he threw for 320, I'd believe that. If you told me he threw for 120, I'd believe that. If you told me it was something in between, I would believe that too. They need a victory, and I don't know what it looks like beating Denver on Sunday night. I legitimately have no idea what to expect.
I have no clue. And Kayla on YouTube says this, and I think a lot of fans feel like this, like Kayla on YouTube. Bonte Shaska, I feel like Jimmy G is saving the season at Kyle's job. Kyle has not had a good coaching performance without Jimmy. I say this season as a season where Jimmy can prove himself again. This is proving ground for Jimmy, no doubt. I could see 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception. I can see the Niners getting out to a 14-0 lead and then hanging out for dear life and winning 23-20. I just don't know. But Jimmy does it sounds like he wants to take a little more chances and he wants the freedom to just play backyard football.
Yes. Are you surprised at the amount of people who feel more, quote-unquote, comfortable with Jimmy Garoppolo? I'm talking about fans.
Yeah,
more comfortable. Because it's interesting. I was at my softball game last night, and it almost felt like every single person's like, well, right now I'm a little more comfortable with Jimmy.
Yeah.
And what's funny to me is had I polled people right after the Dallas playoff game or right after week 15 against Tennessee,
right.
And like there's certain seminal moments you could do this, and hey, after the Cincinnati comeback, everyone be like, wow, we love Jimmy. But the very next week against Tennessee, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe what we saw from them. I'm surprised how it almost feels like it's universally a comfort level for 49er fans with Jimmy Garoppolo because of the unknown of Trey Lance, but more, I guess, the familiarity with Jimmy, and I think maybe the road we've traveled. What is it?
As we get ready for this game in Denver, they've got some injuries here. We'll get to their injury report in just a second. I look at it like, okay, George Kittle's coming back on Sunday. Still have Ayuk there, Deebo Samuel, you have Juwan Jennings, and you have a stout running game, and the offensive line did play a lot better last week against Seattle. And you know what you're getting with Jimmy Garoppolo. You're a veteran. You're going to get into the right set.
Mm-hmm.
He's a professional quarterback. He is one of the 32 best quarterbacks in the league. You have to give him that.
Of course.
Whether you have him at 15, 20, 22, whatever.
He should be starting in the league.
I'm not going to lie to you. With Jimmy back in the lineup, I know now, okay, this team could stack wins. They could stack wins, and they're going to be in a lot of football games. Like the thing with Jimmy Garoppolo in the lineup, how many times have they just gotten blown out? Like just straight up blown out.
Well, look, last year, the only game that I felt like was a complete blowout for the majority of the game was the Arizona home game against Colt McCoy.
That was the one game.
That was a blowout.
That was a big stinker.
That was a blowout.
In 2020, they had some bad games. I want to throw that away for a second. When he's been healthy for 2 full seasons, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to last year.
And then
Arizona game at home. It sticks out in my mind.
That's about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, just off the top of my head, yeah, it feels like it.
They didn't get blown out. Who did they play last year? They played the AFC South. The monsoon game was bad. They beat up on Jacksonville. They beat the Texans with
Colts
legs.
kind of won going away,
right.
But it was a closer game than the final score. But I never felt comfortable in that game.
So I just know with Jimmy Garoppolo, you're going to be in the game. You're going to be in the game. And that does make me feel good. I know, okay, if a team takes a 7-point lead against the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo, it's okay. Jimmy Garoppolo could come down the field and lead you and tie the football game. There was an unknown with Trey Lance. We just didn't know what we were going to get. I assumed that, hey, Trey's going to come out guns blazing. He's going to be a good quarterback. You just didn't know, though. How could we? He's a second-year quarterback with limited reps. With Jimmy, I just know you're going to be in the game and you're going to have a chance to win. And I think that's why fans feel comfortable with number 10. They're saying, when Jimmy's in that lineup, we win more times than not, and we're in the game. You can count. 2019 didn't get blown out at all.
Can I make a counter? And this is not a dismissal of whoever the quarterback is. They've had such a solid defense. They don't really fall behind by 2, 3 4 scores.
That's true.
Right? And So as long as you're just not going 3 and out on offense, you're going to be like a byproduct of a really good pass rush and a good defense is you're going to be in a lot of games and you're going to play tight games. And then the byproduct of running the ball is you're limiting the amount of possessions in a game because the clock continues to tick. So I just think that the way they play football tends to make games 2-possession games at minimum the majority of the time. Like even in 2020 when Jimmy played, off the top of my head, there's the Ryan Fitzpatrick, Devontae Parker Dolphin game, which was a disaster.
Disaster.
But what ended up doing them in that game was that they fell behind by multiple touchdowns early, and then they had to throw to stay in the game. So as long as they don't fall behind in any, specifically this game this weekend, by multiple touchdowns early, I feel like they're going to be in it. One score, one way or the other.
And that's how they have to win. There's no doubt. The defense has got to lead the way, and this defense has been stout for the most part.
Yes.
They broke down in the second half against the Bears. All right, we're going to try to throw that away. They shut out Seattle's offense. They shut out their offense. I'll take that all day long. You know, we were talking about, hey, will the 49ers have a shutout this season? It got pretty damn close on Sunday. Pretty close. So the defense, you're right. They will keep you in the game. They will force a lot of 3 and outs. You will win the possession game, and you'll have the time of possession in your favor.
I didn't mean that to diminish Jimmy.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
Any quarterback.
This is how they play.
Exactly.
Complementary football.
Whether it's Mullins back when, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo. I just feel like they play. Even like the Nick Mullins games, all those games he lost. We look back like, dude, they were in all those games until the very end when he started throwing up all over himself.
Well, there was a couple games where they just got behind so fast with Nick Mullins. It was like, oh, boy, now Nick Mullins has to throw 35 times
and they had no
a game.
Bosa in that.
They had,
you know what I mean? There was a couple of different varieties. But you get what I'm saying. Like, there were, like, the Eagle game sticks out in my head specifically where you're like, dude, that was a game you should have won.
You should have won that game.
And you lost by multiple points, going away.
And with Jimmy, you think about what you just said. With all those defenses and the running game and the time of possession, you're not falling behind much. And Shanahan is calling the game to where, okay, we're going to make sure if we're behind by 3, we're going to make sure we have this drive. But then also, if we get a lead, we're going to run the ball. We're going to try to get out of here with the win, and we're going to run this clock. We're going to run the ball. We want to get to our 30 carries per game. You know that magic number Shanahan has on the whiteboard. But Jimmy does keep you just, no matter what, you just feel good. Like, okay, Jimmy's in the game. Like the Green Bay game, for example, the offense is doing nothing. And that's a game where you could tip your hat to the defense, and the defense kept you in that football game. It kept you in that football game. Conversely, the Dallas game and the wild card game, you're looking at the Cowboys, and you're like, man, the Niners are rolling. They're up 23-7.
There were so many the open plays all over the field. They just...
should have blew up, but they won.
I know.
And they built the lead, a 16-point lead in the playoff game with that defense where it was good enough to hold on.
Yes.
Score 23 points, you're going to win. That was the magic number against the Reds. You scored 17 in the AFC Championship game, you lose. So I think that's why fans are feeling good about Jimmy, because you just know you're going to be in the game no matter what. Yeah. Whether defense is playing great, whether Jimmy's staying away from the no throws, you're going to be in the game.
I got to highlight this because I think that we're going to get into our Jimmy hysteria no matter what.
Right.
We make so much of this roster. I'm looking at the rest of the roster to elevate Jimmy as well. And that, again, not a knock on Jim.
Right.
I need Debo to play. He needs 12 to 15 touches again, whether it's as a running back, wide receiver, whatever. I need Kittle to have his 5 to 7 targets.
But you know what, though? With Debo, he's getting his touches. It's just how he's getting his touches.
So what, you don't like him getting rushes?
I like him getting rushes, but it's a lot of smoke screens and a lot of rushes. And everybody knows that's coming. We need Debo down the field.
He doesn't get separation.
But you know what? He's got to work on that. I'm paying you a lot of money. You're Debo Samuel. I need him in the passing game deep down the field.
What's he better at? I'm asking you. Like, we talk so much about Trey Lance. He's better at running. Like, okay. Oh, is Debo better as a guy once the ball is in his hands?
Ball is in his hands.
Okay, then. So to me, like, I get what you're saying.
Everything is congested around the line of scrimmage right now, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo. Teams are going to be playing 8-9 in the box.
But he makes guys miss.
And they're going to say, but that's a lot to ask, man, when you're trying to evade rushers at the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? Let this guy get down the field and get some space.
But the problem with getting down the field is you have to protect for a 5 to 7 step drop.
Teams protected last week. They protected a lot better.
They did. And Jimmy was ripping it downfield. I think this is a better defensive front than what they faced last week.
Yeah, this defensive front is good.
I think this is going to be a good test.
No,
I'm very interested to see, McGlinchey versus Chubb. That, to me, is the matchup I'm circling.
Let's go to Trevor in San Rafael. Trevor listening via the Odyssey app. What's up, Trevor?
Hey, Trevor.
You're in the morning roast here on 95.7 The Game.
Hey, Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I just wanted to call in. Definitely agree with what you guys are saying about Jimmy. Definitely my confidence is much higher because with Trey, it was just a question mark. I don't know.
Right.
I was hopeful, but didn't know. I was actually at the game on Sunday, and I thought Jimmy, when he came in, he looked healthy. His shoulder looked good, and I feel that we're primed to make a run. And I think with Kittle being back, that'll open things up for Debo in the passing game as well as the run game.
Yep.
I think Ayuk's, he was Trey Lance's guy, but I think Jimmy's just as capable of finding Ayuk now that Ayuk has put in the effort and stepped up his game. So I think all of the pieces are coming together where we're going to be able to light it up. My only concern is with someone like Russell Wilson, who's had the Niners number, is I think we need to run up the score real quick, real early, and make it so there's no chance for any Russell Wilson magic in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We just need to shut him down.
It's funny that you bring up Russell Wilson here, and that's a really good call.
Thanks for the call, Trevor.
I was thinking about this, and I know, B, you were like, this is what you said to me last night. I'm sick of Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
You're tired of it.
He's 17-4 against the Niners. It's been a lot of Russell Wilson to start the season, and the Niners haven't played him yet.
But here's my thing, and then I would say to you, this does feel like one of the final matchups, Niners versus Russ, because now that he's in the AFC West, you're only going to see him
every 4 years.
So we're going to see him 4 years from now. Who knows where he's at in his career?
Right.
Who knows where the Niners are at in their life cycle? Like 4 years is a lifetime in the NFL.
Right.
So as much as I hear you, I'm fatigued by Russ. I am looking forward to, okay, he's out of the division. We get this one last matchup for a good 4 years. I am interested in that. And maybe I'm alone.
Well, no, I don't care so much about seeing him again. It's more so you know what you're getting with Russell Wilson. And he's 17-4 with the Niners, and he still makes plays. And coming off that game last week, where they were booed at their home field, Empower Field in Denver, formerly in Invesco Field when they first opened it up. But Russell's going to be looking to bounce back from that game.
100%.
Now, he's going to be down a weapon. It looks like Jerry Jeudy's out with a rib in his shoulder. He did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. Looks like Jerry Jeudy's going to be out. But it is a late game. It's a Sunday night game.
I know.
We'll see about that.
That means you can't start him if you have him in fantasy like me. Like Gabe Davis the other day. I knew I couldn't play him.
Right. So, but Russell's going to be looking to bounce back. And you know what he can bring to the table. And that is annoying. He can hit you over the top. Right? He hits you over the top. He scrambles and make plays.
Which is the one element that really hurts this defensive line.
How did the Bears get back in the game? Justin Fields is breaking tackles, getting out the pocket, making plays. That's a Russell Wilson special.
Let me ask you about George Kittle. I'm really frustrated, and I'm not mad. I'm frustrated he didn't play in the first two games. Like, frustrated. Like, God, we could have used him at least in week one. I feel like things play out a little different. I'm very interested to see what we get from George Kittle, and then I'm cautious because of the nature of his injury. God, I don't want to see him re-aggravate anything. And I'm worried he's going to go out there and try to break 3, 4, 5 tackles because that's his style of play.
Right.
And I worry about George Kittle. If they want to make any serious hay this year, they got to have him for like 13 games. So
Patrick Surtain was a limited participant in practice yesterday for the Denver Broncos, their star cornerback, youngster second-year player. He was limited, but it looks like, that's a good sign for the Denver Broncos to get him back into the lineup. However, they are missing some guys. And they're missing Mr. Simmons.
A great safety.
A great safety, Justice Simmons. He's a great safety for the Denver Broncos. He's out right now. He's out. So you can take advantage of this if you're George Kittle. Like a linebacker on George Kittle, I still like my options. I like my matchups. And we'll forget how good George Kittle was down the stretch. When the Niners started turning their season around. He had that big game against Seattle, right? 9 catches, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. That Cincinnati game against in overtime when they won in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Big game, big-time impact. We forget because he's so sporadic, and I get it. He's played 84% of the time he's played, but it feels like he's been compromised with injuries, right?
Well, and it feels like his usage, like 1 week he could get 10 targets, the next week he could get 2.
3.
Yeah, it's frustrating if you're a Kittle fan, which we all are.
Right.
And he loves to block.
He loves to block. And you have to use him as a blocker because sometimes your offensive line is leaky.
Yes.
But we forget. I think that allows us to forget how impactful he can be in the passing game.
I'm with you.
And he's one of those players. When he makes plays, The entire team feels it. He's a juice type of player. What I mean by that, Shasky, when he makes a play or he makes a big-time block, the rest of the sideline feels it, and they get up for it, and all of a sudden they're like, you know what, I need to go make a play. How much better is Debo when George Kittle was balling?
He's a tone setter.
He's a tone setter, exactly. So that's what they miss with George Kittle, having that nasty, having that fun. He's throwing the first down signal. He's got the swagger. I'm expecting George Kittle to come out here like gangbusters and make up for missing those first 2 games, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo being back under center.
I want him to do all those things. I don't. Is he going to be full participant? Is he going to be on a pitch count? I don't know, because there's a big drop off. Even though Dwelly got a touchdown last week, there's a big drop off between Kittle, Croft, and Dwelly. Like those other 2 guys are nowhere near the blocker nor pass catcher that he is.
All right, before we get to Austin and RJ,
God, they need him.
They need him big time. You're listening to 95.7 in Game, KGMZ FM and HG1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app, your favorite 95.7 in Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 a Game. By the way, shameless shout-out 7:45. Actually 7:40. Shameless shout-outs. And this week we're going to do something different with shameless shout-outs. This week, we want you to call in 888-957-9570. Shout out your Pop Warner program. If you're a parent of the DC Stars or the Oakland Dynamites or the Richmond Steelers, I want you to call in and shout out your Pop Warner team. Yeah. Shout out to Cheer Squad if your daughter is cheering for one of those organizations. Shout out your high schools. High school volleyball, high school football. Shout out your games. What's the games of the week for your volleyball or football games? Shameless shout out 740. We want to do a Bay Area thing because we love our high school football. Yes. We love our high school volleyball. Yes. We love our Pop Warner programs here. We love our community, and we want to see our community thrive. So we want to shout them out this Friday at 740.
I've got a special birthday shout out today.
Oh.
Yeah, special one.
Birthday.
Yeah, big 7-0.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it Pops?
No. But he went to school with my dad. He was a few years older, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, big one.
Let's go to Austin in the Bay.
Hey, Austin.
In the Bay. What's happening? You're on the roast. He's listening via the radio.
What's up, Austin?
Hey, nothing much. Hey, look, man, here's what I got. I want to tell you, y'all know I'm a Jimmy G fan. I'm always rocking Jimmy G. But these sour 49ers fans, because I'm a 49ers fan, but the other 49ers fans was so out on Jimmy, wanted to get Jimmy out. I just want them to sit back and watch Jimmy win. Just watch him win. And I still think we should have drafted Jamar Chase because he would have been a high-power offense. Ain't nobody stopping Jimmy G, Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, Chase, and Jimmy G. Come on now. And a good defense. And I think and Jimmy gets to spread the ball around amongst everybody now that he's back in the lineup. Juszczyk get more touches. Dwelly gets more touches. I feel like Dwelly should get a little bit more playing time. Kittle needs to still show me that he can stay healthy so we can still be a dynamic offense.
It's a good call, Austin. Good call,
Here's the thing on revisionist history on that draft. And I hear you. We all love Jamar Chase. He's a stud. Like stud. I'm not taking a third receiver in this offense because they're never going to throw the ball enough to warrant the value pulled. And again, he is a stud. For this team, Shanahan isn't going to throw the ball enough to get Debo, Ayuk, and Jamar Chase touches. They're just not.
But I wonder if we're going to look back 2 years from now. Because of the unknown with Trey Lance.
Well, I would say Micah Parsons and even Kyle Pitts, those, because you're going to run the heavy formations.
No doubt. But I wonder if we're going to look 2 years from now, we're going to say, boy, Trey didn't pan out, and maybe the 49ers should have built around Jimmy.
Well, okay.
Maybe they should have put their arms around Jimmy and said, you know what? Let's just build around Jimmy and let's make him the franchise quarterback. Now, some people will say, well, Bonte, they gave him a 5-year deal and they gave him chances.
But they would have never reduced his contract this year,
no
right?
Doubt.
He would still be making, if that was the case, he'd still be making a lot of money. And there's
put the money aside, though. Put the money aside. They would have figured that out. I figured Parag Marate, this is a specialty. When it comes to the monies and the dollars and cents and 50 salary caps.
Part of why he's on a $6.5 million deal
I get all that.
with incentives is because you drafted the kid and he lost leverage.
Well, he lost a lot of leverage. He lost a lot of leverage.
So, there is a financial component.
But think about this, though. The reason why they drafted Trey, why? Because Jimmy couldn't stay on the field.
Agreed, but they also within that same parameter, they wanted to stretch the field, right? That's number two. Then they wanted the caveat of the rookie quarterback scale.
Maybe Jimmy stretches the field.
All of those things.
Yeah, no doubt. But maybe Jimmy stresses the field a little more with the Jamar Chase. Maybe you add more weapons to. He's like, you know what? I got more weapons. I got more one-on-ones on the outside. I feel a little more confident throwing to these playmakers. I don't know. Maybe we'll look at it 2 years from now.
It's an interesting point of view.
The money was going to work itself out.
Look, Bonte, like you talk so much about the quarterbacks in that draft, right? That 2017. You said this to me every day for what feels like 3 straight years. Joe, 2017, Deshaun and Mahomes. Do you know my two guys that I wanted coming out of that draft? It was not Solomon Thomas. I wanted Mike Williams or I wanted Christian McCaffrey. Okay?
Right. Well,
now, McCaffrey's been hurt a lot.
And
right?
Mike Williams gets hurt a lot.
He does. But I'm just saying, like, we could do the woulda, coulda, shoulda on draft picks for every selection they've ever taken.
No doubt.
They took McGlinchey. I remember doing the postgame show with Towney and Guru that night. I wanted Derwin James.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted a playmaking safety.
Yep.
So, like, I hear you on the Trey. They should have taken Jamar and this.
No.
Easy to do that with every
we're not
draft.
saying. All I'm saying is 2 years
it's
from
fair
now.
to do with every draft.
2 years from now, we're going to say, because what happens this year?
No, we will. No, Bonte, we
Jimmy
will.
Garoppolo has a chance to stack wins for this football team.
Bonte, we're doing it right now with Joey Bart. We're doing this right now with Hunter Bishops. We do this in baseball, and our familiarity with baseball prospects is like 1/100th of what it is in the NFL and college drafts.
All right, we're going to do shameless shout-outs to 740.
I'm with you on that.
Shameless shout-outs to 740. Shameless shout-outs. Shout out to your high school team. Who you're playing this week. Shout out to your high school volleyball team. Who's your girls playing this weekend? Who they playing? Pop Warner teams. Shout them out. DC Stars. Oakland Dynamites. Brown Bombers. San Jose Hitmen. Hit Squad, San Jose Hit Squad. Gilroy, where you at? 740 shameless shout-outs. 888-957-9570. RJ and Napa will get to you on the other side, and then we'll get into a little bit of Shanahan. How much does Shanahan want this game? How much does Shanahan really want this game? He's going back to the place where he learned the game of football. We'll discuss that on the other side. That'll be brought to you by BMW Fairfield. Now open in the Fairfield Auto Mall, they provide a luxurious, all-encompassing experience to address all of your BMW needs. Visit BMWFairfield.com today to book your visit. That's BMWFairfield.com.
The Niners play Sunday night. And the morning roast is the only place to be on Monday morning.
I still can't believe Jimmy Garoppolo is the starting quarterback of the 49ers in 2022. I can't sleep right now, Shasky. I'm thinking about this day and night. I can't sleep.
Our Monday football coverage is monstrous.
This is going to be a monster. You're invited to be a part of it.
Only on 95.7 The Game.
Kirby, it's your driveway mechanic, and they bring the shop to you Friday. Brakes and tire replacements, oil changes, and more. They've just added an eco-friendly wash. It barely uses any water and makes your car brand new. The ultimate convenience, easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrival, service in your driveway, no waiting rooms, no coordinating rides, direct access to the mechanic. Friendly and reliable service, no middlemen, and no upsells. Get $50 off your first oil change with the code OIL50. That's OIL50. Check out Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you are looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
The gamer, the call maker, the experience chaser. What if you could be everything all at once? Galaxy Z Fold 4 is powered by the Snapdragon processor for world-class performance and lightning-fast speed to turbocharge your multitasking. How about an expansive edge-to-edge screen for immersive gaming, hands-free video calls with flex mode, and multi-window view to use up to 3 apps at the same time? With Galaxy Z Fold 4, do more with ease and make multitasking a breeze. Available now at Samsung.com.
Bart is turning 50, and we'd love to celebrate with you. Get 50% off of your ride in honor of Bart's 50 years of service to the Bay Area when you pay with Clipper. That's 50% off Clipper Bart fares for the entire month of September. Add Clipper to your digital wallet for free. If you're eligible for other Clipper discounts like youth or senior fares, you get to take an additional 50% off of those too. Details at bart.gov/50 years. Celebrate Bart's 50 years of service with us this September. Let's go.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code JOY at checkout. That's harrys.com, code JOY. Enjoy.
Kevin Hart's reality check tour is coming to Chase Center on October 1st. And 95.7 The Game has your tickets. Listen to Willard and Debs all this week around 10:30 for your chance to win.
What's going on, Roasters? It's Brian Baldinger with the NFL Network, and you're listening to The Morning Roast with Bonte and Shasky on 95.7 The Game.
Sunday, baby! Broncos and Niners, Sunday Night Football, little 50-cent Friday. What's happening to Spadone? Don't forget the kickoff show this Sunday with Larry Krueger and Low Deal. Start at 3 p.m. on Sunday. Larry and Low will eat you right up to kickoff. I need you to focus, Shasky.
No,
Focus.
it's you.
No, it's not me.
You're like throwing me the phone right in the private show.
I'm not doing anything.
Are we going to do the private show?
The show is presented by Harris Rich Beef, legendary beef. Legendary quality Jim Beam bourbon whiskey. Taste the world's #1 bourbon. Shameless shout-outs. Line them up right now. 740. Shout out your football team. See, I'm already seeing some shout-outs here. 510 Comcast Business Text
Give me
line.
an example.
Battle of Oakland in Hayward High School football. Tonight is Skyline High versus Maru Catholic. And it's Saturday, Tennyson versus Oakland Tech. Shout out to those schools. That's what we want. Shout out to your Pop Warner organization. Shout out. Hell, if you got a CYO team playing baseball right now or volleyball or basketball, shout them out. 740. Line them up. 888-957-9570.
All right, we're going to get back into the Denver Broncos and the 49ers. Quick aside. Bonte and I wanted to do something different where people ask us random things and then like what ends up happening is we try to put it on air and it kind of sidetracks the actual sports content. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our version of what we call the private show, okay? Something happens in life. You get sideswiped in your car. The bus doesn't stop for you. Whatever it is. I got some guy screaming at me at Starbucks this morning, for example. We want to tell a story. Maybe it's a college football thing.
Right.
We want to have a little spot where you can listen to 15, 20 minutes of us very quickly, but you can only find it in one place, and it doesn't fit on air for us for whatever reason. So we're going to go to our podcast page on iTunes, all right, and you can find it there. We're going to record the first one next week, but we have to come up with a name for it, all right? Now, the private show, I believe, is not a good enough name. So we have to come up with a name, and I need our roasters to help us.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the final cup of Joe. Maybe it's, a pour over, cold brew. I don't know what the name of it is, but we need a good name. So if you have an idea, text that in.
Moreau Catholic.
957-9570.
Yeah, Moreau Catholic. My apologies. What did I say? Maru Catholic?
Yeah.
Moreau Catholic. Maroon 5.
That's what you're thinking of.
Shout out my son's Nicholas baseball team, Delta Breeze travel team out of Tracy, Scott from Oakley. Shout out my wife, Casey, 11 years married today. I'm not worthy, but I love you, babe. That's from Knock Robin at 925. Rob.
It's not shout out time, but get ready.
That's what we're doing. Line them up. 888, the sidebar. The sidebar is a good name.
Oh, I do like that.
That's from the 650.
I like that.
I'm not going to read that, 925. I'm not going to read that. Not going to do it.
The double shot?
Backstories with Joe.
Yeah. All right, so Jimmy Garoppolo, what to expect? Is this more about Jimmy? Is this more about Kyle Shanahan, the team? Because I know you want to get into Kyle Shanahan returning to the...
What's Kyle thinking right now? Because he's going back to Denver, where he basically held the headset for his father, Mike Shanahan, on the sidelines. Remember the Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers? This is young Kyle Shanahan holding the cord from Mike Shanahan's headset. It's pretty damn cool.
It's pretty cool.
Right? This is where he basically learned football.
It's like me and my brother handing my dad a wrench.
Yeah, there you go.
As he's fixing someone's toilet.
Or a Makita.
Yeah.
So, and his dad's name's going to be in a ring of honor.
Yeah.
You already see
I
that.
heard his dad's going to be in a suite.
He's going to be in a suite.
That's what
He's always in a suite.
Yeah, but I guess the whole family's going to be there.
Right.
Because, Kyle went to high school,
Went to high school there, and I believe he won a state championship. Call the new segment Split Coffee. Not bad.
Don't get distracted. Stay with me.
All right. No, so his dad, he's from there. He played high school football there. He's going back home. And Kyle wants this one. I think it adds to the fact that, look, man, Trey Lance is gone. Fans are all over me. I'm getting snarky with the media. I want to shove it to them. I want to just win a game for our team to improve to 2-1. But then going back home to Denver on Sunday Night Football with all the connections between the Niners and the Broncos, doesn't it feel like this is one Shanahan has to have?
Well, the national media is going to be looking squarely at him and Jimmy G, right?
Yep.
You're the guy that traded up to get this kid. The kid's now hurt. You're the guy that wanted to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. You're the guy that was going to start the kid day one. And now you're the guy who's going to be with Jimmy Garoppolo, and everyone thinks that you're better off with Jimmy Garoppolo except you. Or at least that's what I'm led to believe based off their actions. So I think this is a big one for him. And people saw what he did against his number one rival, which is Sean McVay. And he came up slightly short with Jimmy G. This feels like a big-time game. It's national. This one's got a lot of narratives attached to it. Him returning home, I don't know how much that does for me. Like, for me as a Niner fan.
Do you think it does anything for Shanahan?
I do think, personally, for him, it's a big deal. And I can't underrate that. But, think about it. He got into this profession because of his father.
Yeah.
Whether there's intrinsic value or not, I feel like he got into this because of his father. And, and part of why he's had some of the jobs that he's had is you could say nepotism.
Right.
And I would say, no, I think he's really good because he learned from his father, because the family business is what? It's football.
It is football.
You know, and this is where the family business name was made. Yes, he was a coordinator with the 49ers, but Mike Shanahan truly earned his stripes. The 2 Super Bowls with John Elway in Denver.
Huge. Terrell Davis, and of course, he's in the Ring of Honor. He had that orange jacket on when he had his name in the Ring of Honor. It's pretty sweet. And the white hair. Mike Shanahan looks. He's the picture of Kyle and Kirk Cousins talking, and you see Mike Shanahan like throwing his cheese.
The lobster man.
He looks like Master Splinter, man.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, go to 95.7 The Game at Morning Roast 95.7. Is this Sunday night's game bigger for Kyle Shanahan or Jimmy Garoppolo? Let us know on the roast. I know it's a big game for Nick Bosa. I almost think...
Why do you say it's a big game for Nick Bosa?
Just to continue this path of trying to win the DPOY. Because Michael Parsons is balling in Dallas.
And when you want to win a DPOY, again,
these are the games you got to dominate.
Very early. But the national
games... These are the games you got to dominate.
Myles Garrett's name is being echoed this morning because of last night's game.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. You saw Baldy send a tweet. It's halftime. And Myles Garrett is invisible. You know what I'm saying? It's not good.
But everyone told me how great, and I still like Myles Garrett. No one thinks he's a...
But that's something Baldy said about Myles Garrett, that sometimes he just doesn't show up.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not good enough.
Yeah.
These games with Mike Tirico,
a lot of
Chris
people
Collinsworth,
yelled at me that, Myles Garrett's way better than Nick Bosa. It's like, they're all really good.
I know about that.
But I'll take Bosa.
The sucker free sit down. It's not bad. These games are on primetime. You get the Sunday night game, and then you get the Monday night football game next week against the Rams.
Yes.
These are games you got to dominate.
The back-to-backs.
The national media see that. They're like, ooh, Nick Bosa, oh my Lord. Next thing you know, on NFL Ticket or NFL Red Zone, they're looking for number 97, right? But I want to throw somebody else into this mix for whoever, who's it more important for, or who's it bigger for, Jimmy G or Kyle Shanahan. This season's big for Jimmy Garoppolo. Every single game is I think, a bank account game. I'm going to call it a bank account.
A bank account. A Scrooge McDuck.
Right. You ball out this Sunday, the money goes up. The value goes up. Kind of like the stocks, right?
Really?
All of a sudden, that value goes up.
Now I'm imagining him in Heat. You know what I mean? Like throwing giant duffel bags of money into a van.
Cash me out one time.
There you go, Kevin Dana. Look, every time he throws a completion, you see the dollar signs go up. Every time he throws an interception, it's like a momentum meter, a Madden, right?
Oh.
He had the momentum
like a
meter.
Stock market?
Yeah, there you go.
Or it's like Sonic the Hedgehog, where the rings, where you're collecting rings, and then you get knocked, and then all the rings go flying. Yeah,
that's Jimmy.
Yeah,
every single game. So, but Shanahan. But I also want to throw George Kittle in there. George Kittle has been paid a lot of money. A lot of people have cited how many games he's missed since he signed the contract, and the yardage, and the receptions. And a lot of people kind of forgotten about him. We talk about Travis Kelce. We talk about Darren Waller. We're talking about Kyle Pitts in Atlanta, who only has 4 catches on the season for like 38 yards. National television, number 85, making plays. It's another statement game for him to say, hey, you forgot about me? I'm still the best tight end in football. And so I'm going to throw him to that mix too, Shasky. George Kittle. Because a lot of people are not happy he missed the first 2 games. A lot of people think that maybe he sold out Trey. I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's that serious. I think if he could have played, he would have played.
They just need him to play. I mean, this isn't about who he likes, who he doesn't like. Like, when I'm paying you the amount of money that he's getting paid, I need him to play. I need him to be healthy because he's great when he's on the field. I mean, and when he's not on the field, the team loses. I think they're 11-14 now in games that he doesn't play. Like, there's that's not a good record. And so when you give a guy his yearly cash this year is close to $12 million, right?
Right.
Like, that's a lot of money on this team, especially when the quarterbacks are both making less than him. I mean, he is someone outside of Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel. He's the 3rd highest paid player on that side of the ball.
Right.
I need him to be the 2nd or 3rd best player on offense.
Yeah, no doubt. And to open things up for Deebo, because the defenses are suffocating Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
You bring up Deebo getting the ball in his hands. Well, I feel a lot better getting the ball in his hands at the line of scrimmage if George Kittle's out there on that field. Because now all of a sudden, our defenders really, hey, let's scheme up for Ross Dwelly. No disrespect to Ross Dwelly.
No.
Croft, when he was in the lineup. Are you really doing that for Charlie Warner? No. Number 85? Hey, the linebackers need to be on alert. The safeties need to be on alert. And without Justice Simmons for the Denver Broncos, and we'll see about Patrick Surtain, the Niners are going to have an advantageous matchup somewhere, whether it's Ayuk, Kittle, or Deebo. But it all helps because 85, George Kittle's back in the lineup.
I also think that we've made a lot of their short yardage and red zone offenses.
Been struggling.
Boy, they could use George Kittle.
He's a factor.
Well, it's not just that you have to account for him, leaking out for a play-action play. but he also is a mauler. So it's like a double-edged sword there, and I just think that they really miss him in the short yardage situations and in the red zone spots.
Yeah. And I know people will highlight the touchdowns. What he's at? How many career touchdowns does he have? 18? I got to look that up.
He has 20. I'm looking at it right now. 20, yeah.
20 touchdowns.
A career high of 6 in a year.
So he may not score the touchdowns. Which was last year. But he's going to draw a lot of attention. And that opens up things for Jawan Jennings. It opens up things for Brandon Ayuk. It opens up things for Deebo Samuel. Maybe a running back out the backfield, Kyle Juszczyk. That's where he's important. He could just be a factor and not even get the ball. Just his presence alone, I think, helps this offense.
Agreed. And I also think that as you referenced the amount of touchdowns, it doesn't take away from how good he is. But scoring touchdowns is a vital part of the NFL. Getting 6 is huge. How many drives are you watching where you're like, God, I'd love to have 6 here. I got to have 6. And I just look back at Vernon Davis's career. He dropped a lot of balls. George is
scored, though.
George is a more complete tight end. But I'll give Vernon this.
You know what?
I mean, Vernon was a great blocker. No, he was a great blocker.
Damn good.
But I think Kittle's got way better hands. But here's where I separate the two. Vernon would break a tackle and be gone. Gone. He had 2 12-plus touchdown seasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Crazy.
That is crazy.
And that's the one area that I wish they would highlight him more in the red zone. That's the one area of this offense that I get most frustrated about is George Kittle not getting highlighted in the red zone, whether that be splitting out or in that play action.
Yeah, I don't mean to be mean. That's funny. A lot of Shasky, not to derail the show, but a lot of names coming in for the podcast. A lot of names. Our girl Vanchi, what is it? V2. Y'all already have the morning roast. What about the grind, where you guys get into the nitty gritty? Not bad. Coffee with J and B for your upcoming podcast. What else do we have? We got a lot of names. The Sideshow from Danker.
I kind of like the Sideshow.
Kind of like the Sideshow?
I do.
Of course you would like that.
I do kind of like that.
You want to be a rap video.
Are we going to play that
Be
legit?
a rapper so bad.
I kind of like that.
You want to be a rapper so bad.
I just want to be. I just want to be in the video. That's all I want. I just want to be in the video. Stunner, hit me up.
I do want to be in the Stunner. Well, we may need permission slips to be in the Stunner video. Hey.
I thought you were going to go be legit Sideshow. Turn this up.
Yeah, this is hard. This is one of his best beats ever.
Dude, R.I.P. Tracks a Million. He made hits.
He did make hits.
Woo!
We're going to need a permission slip to go to a Stunner video, music video shoot. You see the video shoots he has?
Yeah, I don't want to be on his IG feed. My wife would kill me.
Yours.
Well, it's him shirtless and just women everywhere.
It's working everywhere.
Like he's Ime Adoka.
Why you do that?
Too soon?
Why you got to do that to eBay?
I have a wife.
We don't want
that was a low blow.
That was a funny one. All right, I'll take a step back.
That's not cool, dude. Don't get me in the goofy mood like yesterday when everybody was cracking the jokes. I'm not going there. Not yet. But Stunner man, you start throwing money now. Dude, we can't be in the Stunner video. What it would do to our egos if we're in the Stunner Man video and we're making it rain and there's twerks. See, I'll start acting a fool, man, and I'll just be sleeping on the couch and I'll be kicked out the house.
We have not talked about who the primary running back is in this game.
It's going to be Jeff Wilson Jr.
Again?
Probably.
Do you want to see Mason get some touches now that TDP's hurt?
I think we may see a little bit more Marlon Mack. The fact that they signed Tevin Coleman, is that an indictment on Jordan Mason?
I don't know. I mean, running backs are going down like every 8 carries. I can't even keep up. If you told me right now, Juszczyk is your number 1 running back come week 7, I'd believe you.
Yeah,
I mean, the game on the line last year, they had no bodies healthy, and Juszczyk got the touch.
I know. That still wasn't a good play call. I don't care. I know Mark Miller says, you guys are questioning each other. That was a bad. Trent Williams couldn't even run out the tunnel to start the game. I watched him. Rocco and I sat there. I was like, the Niners coming out this tunnel right here in front of us. They come out. You got the boombox guy. Trent Williams couldn't even move. He couldn't even jog down the sideline.
He moved much better in game 2 than he did game 1 this year. Trent Williams. I was really looking at that because you were talking about it.
Yeah.
And I thought he looked a lot better in game 2.
Dude,
Trent Williams.
Game one, he limped off the field at the end. And I was just like, jeez. You lose to the Bears. Trent's limping. Trey's taking hits. There's no Kittle. What the heck is going on here? But he did look a lot better, and Aaron Banks looked good. A lot of people are saying, man, Antonio S., Bonte, you was done with Jimmy G. Remember that? We can't rally around the quarterback? No, Shasky was very half-hearted yesterday.
What do you mean I was half-hearted?
I
was sincere.
To rally around
we do.
Jimmy, and I just see you biting your lips, but you're onto something. This is it.
We have to rally behind the guy.
It's number 10.
I'm a Niner fan.
It's go time.
Exactly.
This is the last ride. It's a big game against Denver.
When KD went down, DeMarcus Cousins stepped up.
He did step up.
Right?
We all forget. He had a big second quarter against the Raptors.
I mean, so like I'm not trying to say that Trey Lance is KD. What I'm saying is that when guys go down, next man up. Like we use that phrase a lot, and I think it's a big cliche, but it applies to this situation.
Dude, Garoppolo can help this team stack wins. What do we know about this defense? They're very good.
Yes.
They're flying around, they're hitting.
Yes.
All right. We know Jerry Jeudy may not be playing in this football game.
That's very advantageous for them.
Very big.
And Hamler is their other receiver, and I heard he was limited in practice this week.
Their offensive line.
Banged up.
Suspect.
A guard and a tackle hurt.
Justice Simmons is safety, not playing.
He's a good player.
Take advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
Beat them up. They're beat up. Take advantage of the Denver Broncos, and all of a sudden you're sitting at 2-1. By the time we come back Monday morning, if they're sitting at 2-1.
Oh, my God.
Then they ramp up to the Rams game on Monday Night Football.
I'll feel a lot better.
You could win that game and be 3-1 after the first quarter of the season.
Oh,
now it's about,
God.
oh, yes. And then all of a sudden we're saying, the Niners are the best team in the NFC. That could be a conversation in a week.
It could. You got to win against Denver. Like, I don't want to get ahead of myself with LA.
I don't
want to get ahead of myself.
I know we're going to get
LA.
a lot of heat about Jimmy because everybody's beat up Jimmy, and I've said it over and over and over again. He's been the most disrespected 49er in my adult life.
Well, many things can be true simultaneously, Ralph. Right? Like, he can be very disrespected at times by everyone, and he can also leave a lot to be desired. He can also give you your best chance of winning this Sunday. All of those statements can be true simultaneously.
No doubt.
Right? And so, and also, he's far from a perfect player, but he's also really good when he's really good.
Yep.
You know, and this team wins when he's under center. All of those statements I just said are true.
All right, MDK1, you got the morning roast. How about the morning deuce?
I'm a little uncomfortable with that.
Come on.
That is usually what comes after the roast. So, I mean.
Just threw that joke in on eBay. I was uncomfortable with that. We don't know what's going on, man. Being long out here deleting posts. Shutting off comments. Dudes are going on Nia Long's Instagram page, dropping their numbers there like, hey, Nia, just call me. I mean, come on, dude.
For those that don't know what you're referencing.
Yeah, they know. Everybody knows about the Ime Udoka. He's suspended for the season by the Boston Celtics. Had a relationship with somebody in the organization. Said some things to this person. We don't even know all the details. We don't. It's a hairy situation. But he was dating Nia Long and they have a kid together. So, yeah.
This is why I'm uncomfortable with all these relationship conversations when it comes to professional athletes, coaches, things like that. It's just, you just never know, and I don't want to get in the head of anyone. I have a hard enough time with my own marriage.
Shoot.
What I'm saying?
Shoot or shoot. Yeah, two ladies, Bonte. I'm not even going to go there. The Morning Madness. Hey, 415 Comcast Business Text line. Yeah, I take a morning deuce while listening to your show. See, that's TMI. Why would you want to do that?
You think Tevin Coleman gets elevated from the practice squad?
Great pivot.
They brought him back.
All right, how'd you feel about Tevin Coleman being back?
Well, okay. He had the one game against Minnesota. The guy had like 300 yards for the Niners in that year. Like, he was a non-factor. Yeah. I call him the high ankle sprain. I mean, he's always got a high ankle sprain.
He was good in 2019. He was really good.
How many yards did he have?
Dude, in 2019,
I'm going to look this up right now.
Look it up
I bet he had less than 500 yards.
I guarantee you, too.
In the regular season.
Do you remember the Minnesota game that you were going crazy?
I just said he had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He was amazing in that game. Then he hurt his shoulder. And it was done. He had a really good Carolina game.
Okay.
How many yards did he? Hold on, let me guess.
In 2020.
Hold on. No, 2019.
I know, in 2020 he had 53 yards.
All right, 2020, he was hurt. 2019, I'm going to guess to say Tevin Coleman had over 600 yards rushing.
He had 544.
All right, I was close.
In 14 games, basically.
I split a lot of carries.
I mean, come on. This is where we're at with the running game. And at the point, I understand, like, he knows the system. It's overrated. Just give me a young, youthful running back. Like, this whole, let me get some guy who's got no juice. I don't need 2 yards in a cloud of dust. All right? I need the guy that can maybe break one.
Jet McKinnon, bring him back according to the 925.
McKinnon's playing for the Chiefs.
I know, the paper airplane.
Yeah, and he actually looks good in number 1.
He looks good in number 1.
I know.
All right, couple minutes.
He's doing for Andy Reid what I thought he would do for Kyle Shanahan.
All right, where are these people out? 888-957-9570. Line them up. Shameless Shameless shout-outs coming up in a couple minutes here on the Morning Roast. Shout out, you know what? Shout out whoever the hell you want to shout out. Pop Warner teams, high school teams, shout out whoever you want. I don't want to just read text the whole time. Give a call, shout somebody out on the radio, man. Shout out your daughter, shout out your dog, shout out your high school team, high school volleyball, cheer team, whatever you need to do. 888-957-9570. Shameless shout-outs coming up in a couple minutes.
So I keep coming back to the same thing. You got the Russ narrative. You got the Jimmy G narrative. You got the Kyle Shanahan going back to his the place where his father was an absolute star. I mean, he's probably the greatest coach in Bronco history. Is that
Mike Shanahan?
Is that an overstatement?
Yeah, he won the 2 Super Bowls there.
I mean, that was their winningest era, right? I know that they were good
Dan
in the 70s.
Reeves was really good.
Dan Reeves was good.
But they lost. They
Multiple
couldn't win a
Super
big
Bowls,
one.
yeah.
Couldn't win a big one.
Yeah.
Lost to the Washington Redskins,
Niners.
lost to the Giants, Niners, got blown out.
Yeah.
They got blown out in those Super Bowls. And they just lose. They got blown out. Mike Shanahan did win the 2 Super Bowls with Elway, which is what elevates him. And he was a long-time assistant there. He was an assistant there for like 7 years.
So which one of those does it the most for you, like this weekend? Because I'm curious what the NBC broadcast is going to really highlight. I feel like it's Jimmy.
So my big gut is going to tell me that they'll have a little montage of Shanahan being young, holding the headset. They'll show Mike in the suite. They'll show his name. But it's going to be heavily slanted towards Jimmy Garoppolo. The intrigue with number 10, because a lot of people nationally can't believe that this guy helped you go to the NFC Championship game, and you had him coming off the bench for Trey Lance. A lot of people don't get that. And I get it. I understand. And then you get all the comments about the veteran saying, hey, he gives us a better chance to win. It's going to be heavily towards Jimmy. How many shots towards Jimmy Garoppolo? The stats, the looks, him on the sideline with Brian Greasy.
The image of Trey Lance and the cart, they'll have that, right?
The last time he was playing for the 49ers starting the game, NFC Championship game. Boy.
Yeah, that's going to be all that. And then there's the Russ angle, right? Like,
yes.
I mean, look,
it's a juicy game.
It is.
It's a juicy game.
It really is.
Man.
And then you got the Hackett situation and everything that's going on in Denver. They've got 2 rookie coordinators that are on that staff for Denver.
This is a winnable game,
Well,
right?
and that's where I look back. I know we're going to make a big deal about Jimmy. I look at the head coach and I say, you have a schematic advantage over a very shaky early coach in Hackett, and then you should have a second-year defensive coordinator going up against a first-year offensive coordinator. And Shanahan, you're a seasoned vet in the NFL going up against a rookie coordinator on defense for Denver. Like, they should have all the schematic advantages. Denver, as banged up as the Niners are, they're equally banged up.
Is this another gotta-have a game? Well, how would you label this game?
Aren't they all?
Yeah, I know.
Aren't they all?
I know. It's not a trap game.
But I'll say this. If you fall to 1-2 with the Rams, you can't look ahead.
No.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to. That's what I'm saying.
If you
finish the first quarter of season 3-1, Shasky.
I'll take it 2-2. If you told me, Joe, after 4 weeks and you lose Trey and everything, and Kittle doesn't play 2 games and you go 2-2, I would take that. That's why this one's so big.
Let's go. Shameless shout-outs, baby. Let's do it on a Friday. Shameless shout-outs. The calls are lit. The texts are coming in. YouTube, Twitch, and the Comcast Business text line. Spadoni, let's hit it. Shasky, we have a lot of shout-outs here. We'll get to the lines in just a second. A lot on the Comcast Business text line. You got a birthday shout-out, though.
Yeah, I want to start off right here. This guy is a San Francisco icon, a city legend, an Olympic Club stud. Happy 70th birthday to Reardon High School's own Paul Simpson.
Wow. How about that?
CYO legend who played with Kevin Rastani in the 1960s.
Wow.
70 years old. Paul and me are going to create a podcast one day called City Life.
I like that.
It's going to come where we're going to expose all of these politicians who are fraudulently ruining our city.
You might want to stay away from that.
It's a joke. But I love you, Paul. Paul tags everybody in emails to the mayor left and right. Paul does care about this city. Happy 70th birthday, buddy. Can't wait to see you
And rest
again.
in peace to Kevin Rastani. Rest in peace to
Big Bird. Legend.
Big Bird. Rest in peace to him.
The gym is named after him now.
He used to do a lot for, if I'm not, what's the spot by the zoo for special needs kids? think he used to do a lot of things there, too, for them. I went
unfamiliar with
Yeah,
the name
yeah.
of
It was
someone.
right next to the zoo. Special needs kids, they go there. It's like a center for them. They could play games, play basketball. We went there one time with City College.
Gotcha.
There was Sonny Big Bert was there. We're all playing. He was a good dude in the
Played
community.
first base in softball for many years against my dad and I. He's a great man, and he's dearly missed.
All right, Spinoni, what you got? Lubman, what you got? Then we'll get to the lines.
I want to shout out my father-in-law, Bob Ingersoll. He has been going through some cancer treatments, so I'm pulling for you, Bob. He's so strong. He's been a baller throughout this whole process, kept a smile on his face throughout. He's a great grandpa to Benny, and I love you, man.
All right, what you got, Lubman? What you got?
I'm going to shout out, since we're doing the high school theme today, I'm going to shout out my high school, Los Lomas Knights. Going to De Anza today to take on, I don't even know what De Anza is called. The Dons. There you go, taking on the Dons. Knights off to a rough start, 1-3. Hopefully they can get it back on track against De Anza.
All right, let's give it another shout out right here.
Okay.
Tommy Guerrero, if you're out there, a shout out to the SFPAL 49ers. They have a game this Saturday in Santa Cruz. Booyah! The 10 and under and the 12 and under SFPAL 49ers.
I shout out my guy Nance P and the entire DC Stars organization. Nance P, his son, Fat, playing for the 6 and under team.
These
fat
nicknames.
Yeah, he
That's
got
an
a
all-timer.
nickname. That's an all-time.
I mean, come on.
Hey, he knows what time it is, but I'm not going to give out the government name. I didn't get permission. But Nance P and everybody with the DC Stars, I was so impressed with their organization. They had the barbecue going. They had the ticket booth going.
Was their offense next level?
Their offense is really good.
Yeah?
A lot of jet sweeps.
Oh.
A lot of jet sweeps. I shouldn't be saying that. Sorry to the Richmond. I'm giving out the whole damn Scott report. All right, let's go to Tamir in Oakland. What's
Hey, Tamir.
Shout out Tamir. What's happening?
Long time no hear.
Hey, what's up, guys? Give a shout out to my sons. Pop Warner team play for the Livermore Bulls. They play Oakley this week on 24th. And I got to give a big shout out to my Tennyson Lancers. We got Oakland Tech this week. We about to get that dub 4-0, boys. Let's go.
Let's go. Tennyson rolling right now, playing the Tech, playing the Bulldogs of Oakland Tech. I like that. Daniel in San Jose. Daniel, what's happening? Who you shouting out?
I'm shouting out my son's football team. I'm assistant coach. Coach Dan.
What football team? What football team?
It's San Jose Hit Squad.
San Jose Hit Squad. Saw you guys last week
That's
against
a
the
sick
Stars.
name.
And San Jose Hit Squad. Shout out to Daniel. Turn down your radio next time, Daniel.
Bonte, it's the Pomeroy Center. The Pomeroy Center.
The Pomeroy Center.
There you go.
I was
That's what
talking
everyone's
about.
saying out near the zoo.
Yeah. Pomeroy Center.
All right,
They
who
do a
else
good
we
job
got?
out there. We got Josh in Santa Cruz.
What up,
Josh, what's
Josh?
happening? Who you shouting out?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm shouting out my mom, Janice Coda. She's a hard-working woman, 7 years old, still making barbecue for everybody.
Nice.
Got a big catering this weekend, and I just want to shout her out. I love you. Go Niners.
Go Niners. There it is. 888-957-9570. Shameless shout-outs right now. Shout out whatever you want to shout out.
650. Shout out Coach White, AAU basketball.
Yep. And then shout out Cyrus wants to shout out his bro, Michael Parsons in San Jose. It's his birthday. Leon coming in. FYI, my nephew Napoleon plays for the 10, 12 and under team, DC Stars too. Shout out to Leon and his daughter, young Dom out there in LA going to college, and she just got invited to the Filipino national women's basketball team. She's going to be trying out for that. Shout out to Dom out there and Leon doing the damn thing. Mason in Richmond. Mason, what you got?
My name is Mason Bright from the Richmond Steelers. 8U Baby Maniac.
Let's go, Mason. Mason, who you guys playing this week, Mason?
Gone.
All right, shout out to the Richmond Steelers.
He was ready.
He was ready to go. Mason, let's go to Gary and Martinez. Gary, what you got? What you got, big Gary?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Hey, I'm giving a shout-out to my son. Doing big things with the surf soccer team out here in the East Bay, and a shout-out to y'all. We love you, man.
We love you too, Gary. We really appreciate that. 925 Comcast Business Tech Line. Shout out to Jimmy Garoppolo. That's right. 415. Shout out to Westmore High for having a great football field and no team. That's not right. Their field is good. They host Sacred Heart Cathedral for a lot of practices. Let's go to Howard in Oakland. What's happening?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I just want to put a shout out to the Mac House from the West Oakland, McClymonds High School Warriors.
Let's go.
That's right. State champs.
Let's go.
Howard, state champs,
Good
baby.
call, Howard.
McClymonds, state champs are home with Marcus Peters. They've got a great program. 510, shout out Yuba City 8U team. taking on Elk Grove this week. Let's get the dub, Yuba City, taking on Elk Grove. That's a big game up there in Sacktown.
And the 12U Panthers, the East Bay Panthers, are facing the Delta Patriots. So shout out to the baby boy Carter.
I like that. 408 Comcast Business Excellence. Shout out to Aubrey in the second grade in Montgomery Elementary in San Jose. Dad loves you. That's Rick the father.
Oh.
Rick the father. That is pretty cool stuff. Shout out my wife Jessica for being such a great wife and mom. Always taking care of the kids. I can't wait to meet our fourth child, baby Drew Down.
Wow.
Baby Drew Down. Let's go. Shout out to Ed and baby Chaz out there doing their thing. Their kid, baby Chaz, is growing and is doing a great job. Took her to the playground yesterday. Had a lot of fun.
I want you to Google Drew Down and the Loonies Ice Cream Man video.
Oh, come on.
Might be my favorite one of all time.
It's unbelievable. Let's go to Delta.
Drew Down, top 5 hair all time area.
Delta, all the way in Missouri. All the way in Missouri wants to shout somebody out. What's up, Delta?
Drew Down.
What's up, man? First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Butcher Boy. I met him last year at the 49er game, my first time going there.
Let's go.
And I'd like to give a shout out to my clan on Call of Duty, 49er ERX, baby. Let's go, Niners!
I love that. I
Call
love
of
that.
Duty.
I love that. I love that.
Was he playing against Kyler?
Hey, I'll say this, though. Kyler did his homework at halftime.
Hey, did you see that virtual reality NFL game that's coming out?
I did see
and
that.
And they were like, Kyler's never going to practice again. He's just going to play virtual reality.
Hey, he just plays street football against the Raiders in the second half. The 2-point conversion.
He might not study, but damn, he's good.
He did a little bit of homework at halftime.
So sick.
He knew where to run. Champo in Oakland.
God.
Champo, what's happening? You're on the road, so you're shouting out.
I'm shouting out my 10U football team, Bay Area Lions.
Let's go.
Let's go, Bay Area Lions.
What position you playing?
I play running back and corners.
Oh, this sounds like a
that.
player.
Who do you guys have, Champo? Who are you guys playing this week?
I'm playing the number 2 team, Grant Junior Pacers.
Oh,
you're gonna smoke them, aren't you?
Hey, this is a big game, Champo. Go out there and kill him. All right, Champo.
All right.
Let's go, Champo. I like
love
that.
hearing from the kids.
I love hearing
This
from the
is
kids
great.
and the Pop Warner teams. Dustin in Mountain View.
What up,
Dustin, who you
Dustin?
shouting out, Dustin? Oh,
Dustin, I just want to give a shout out to my 2 sons, DJ and Marcus. We're on our way to school right now.
Let's
go, DJ Marcus.
Good
Get
job,
those
Pops.
books. Good job, Pops, getting them to school. And thanks for listening to the Morning Roast. Duke in the city. Our main man, Duke. What's happening, Duke? He is shouting out.
Man, you already know what it is. Man, Niner Empire rise up.
Let's go.
I give a big shout out to local 10, man. 91. Local 34, 75, man. We in big contract talks right now, man. Y'all keep us in prayer, man. We're trying to get this done. And like I just told your boy, a big shout out to my wife and my daughter, man. Especially my wife. She's been sacrificing a lot. She's doing this bodybuilding competition, man. She done transformed her body. She's a monster, man. You know what I mean? So big shout out to you, baby. If y'all listening, I love you, man. And the Niners, we gonna get this, man. I ain't forgot about y'all, man. We gonna do this next week on this home game. We gonna blow this
Let's
up.
go.
Let's
We
go,
in
Duke.
Let's go,
Duke.
Duke,
Let's
don't
go,
be a
Duke.
stranger.
All right, let's go to Birdchest in the city. Birdchest, what's happening, my man? You're on the roast.
What up, Bonte? How we doing today, brother?
Hey, man, we doing great, baby. Big game on Sunday. Warriors Media Day Sunday. A lot of things happening in the Bay.
That's what's up. Check it out, man. I want to throw a shout out to my AAU team that I coach, my 13 and unders, NP Force out of Pacifica, California. We play this weekend in the Bay City League in Atherton.
Nice.
At Sacred Heart Prep.
Nice.
Let's get it, boys.
Let's get it, Birdchest. Let's get it, boys. Let's get these last calls here before the injury report. Love doing shameless shout-outs. A lot of great programs out there. High school, AAU, Pop Warner. We love the kids on the Morning Roast. JW in the city. JW, who you shouting out? JW going once. Ah, JW,
Like the
you're gone.
Marriott.
510. 510. Shout out's a good one. Shout out to my 9-year-old daughter. I don't want to jack her name. What do you want to guess that one, Shasky?
Marilyn, I think. Mealin?
There's no R there.
She scored her,
Malin.
Oh, she scored her first touchdown in school yesterday.
Oh, that's cool, Malin.
Very
Good
cool.
job. Good
and
job,
the
Malin.
girls can play with the boys all day, every day.
Saw a lot of
Don't
girls.
let anybody tell you otherwise.
No doubt about that. Shout out to my son Jorge, who had to listen to Niner Radio all week after his Raiders lost. That's from the 408. Let's go to Amir and Concord. Amir and Concord. Then we'll get the Marie, and we'll shut down shameless shout-outs. Amir, what's happening? Who you shouting out?
I would like to shout out my football team, the Concord Cobras.
Let's go, Concord Cobras. Who you guys got this week, Amir?
I forget what they're called, but they're Broncos.
Hey, it don't even matter. The Broncos are going down, baby.
Hey, you know what? I want to shout out all the parents out there and the grandparents and the aunts and uncles that are schlepping these kids from practice to practice, game to game. There's so many travel ball and AAU parents and football and soccer, whatever the sport is, and you know what it is. You drop your kid off, and then you got find something to do for an hour or two, or you're at a field all day.
And you're there all day long.
It's an absolute nightmare. So shout out to the parents, man.
No doubt. Shout out to the Fairfield Falcons. You football.
Let's go.
Game of the week 10 and unders. Let's go, Fairfield Falcons. And then Marie in San Jose. Marie, you're going to finish this off. Marie, who you shouting out this week?
Well, thank you. I want to shout out my son, Mr. Brancati, who is in his first year of teaching. He's got a 4th grade class at Ernesto Galarza Elementary School in San Jose.
Nice.
No doubt.
Very cool.
Love that.
Very cool.
Love that. A lot of great shout outs.
Shout out all the teachers.
Yeah, shout out to all the teachers. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, Twitch, and the Comcast Business Text Line. Shout out to Archbishop Reardon. Open it up, WCAL play against Valley Christian.
Well, it is the best conference in Northern California, and it's indisputable.
I can't really argue that.
Yeah, I know you can't.
Okay, that's a tough
It
one.
is what it is.
But it's Sarah.
It's the SEC of Northern California.
Well, right now, it's Sarah and
It just matters more.
It just matters more. WCAL, it just matters more.
It does matter a lot more than WCAL, no doubt. But it's Sarah, St. Francis, and everybody else. Somebody got to catch Sarah's good.
In football.
Big Sexy in the 415. I want to give a shout out to my fellow Crusader brother, Butcher Boy. Bay Area Bonte. He's calling me Bay Area Bonte for holding it down on YouTube.
Let's go.
Love that. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That was a lot of fun, man. Shameless shout outs every single Friday at about 7:40. It'll make you feel good. Hear from all the parents, all the kids.
That was fun. It was fun hearing from all the kids calling in because sports is a big part of a kid's life.
Yep,
for the ones that play. It's not for everyone. Some kids are into dancing. Some kids are into, doing plays and musicals and things like that, or whatever it might be. Some might just be playing video games. You know what I mean? But, sports is a big part of a lot of kids' lives.
Drew Don't Care. Shout out to car wash you get after the oil change at the dealership. I like that.
Well, no, you should actually go to Kirby. Kirby.com. CURBEE.com.
This is Shasky. I'm
Oil 15.
Oil 50.
Shasky, this is why I'm angry. That's why I'm angry.
Why? It's Friday.
I shouldn't be, but it's your fault. You blew my birthday. Just blew it up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want anybody to know. You blew it up.
Shout out to Big 5-0 for Bonte.
Antonio, shout out to the ring still in the store that Bonte hasn't bought yet.
That is not my fault.
It's your fault.
Go from boyfriend to hubby. So let's make that happen this year. Okay?
It's been a rough week for you, boy. I've heard the M word a million times this week.
Well, I mean, you're dripped in gold around your neck. You look phenomenal.
I know.
Speaking of that, let's see an injury report.
Let's go, Spinone.
That mouse was moving back there.
Really hurt. Brought to you by Boxer and Gerson,
You got a
Northern
finger cramp.
California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
Shout out to Jay Spadoni. Number 2's on the way.
Yes.
Benny's about to be a big bro. Jay hanging in there. Jay Spadoni, I got your back.
Shout out, Joe. Your life's done.
Yeah, I mean, Joe
It's been done.
I mean, it's been done for a long time. I mean, how long you guys been married, Joe?
5 years.
5 years. How long you dated?
10 years.
Wow. Look at you, Joe. You still got all your hair. Unbelievable.
For
I'm
now.
receding now.
It's receding.
Well, he's got all that chest hair, too. He's
He does have the taco meat. No doubt about that. Hey, injury report. Broncos. They did not provide any positivity when it came to Jerry Jeudy yesterday. The star wide receiver from Alabama. Remember, he was in that first round class with Justin Jefferson and Henry Ruggs and CeeDee Lamb and all those guys. Well, he's in danger of being ruled out for Sunday night's matchup against the Niners due to a shoulder and rib injury. He did not practice all week. We'll see what happens today, and we'll ask Benjamin Albright at 8:30 about the Denver Broncos. But he was seen suited up on the sidelines. But you know what? Doesn't look good for Jerry Jeudy. And that was the injury report. Oh, where's my read? Oh, injury report. Brought to you by Boxer and Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. So it's coming up in a game. Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises. We're going to take a time out for the Niners. Shasky, let's talk some Dubs. We're about to talk some Warriors with Anthony Slater on the other side here on the roast.
Are you ready for your palm reading, my dear?
Yeah, let's do this.
I sense that you crave something.
More reliable.
Right. You know you deserve better. and want out of a relationship.
Yes, with my big name wireless carrier.
You're who now?
My big name wireless carrier. That's why I switched to Xfinity Mobile. Now I get unlimited with 5G for $30 per month on the most reliable 5G network.
Let's talk about your aura. It's so...
And get this. They can even save you hundreds a year on your wireless bill over T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon.
Wow, that's actually really impressive.
Yep, but you already knew that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I definitely saw this coming.
Start seeing savings today. Switch to the fastest mobile service, Xfinity Mobile. Now with the best price on 2 lines of unlimited, just $30 a line per month. Switch today. Xfinity Internet required. Price comparison for 2 unlimited lines under available 5G pricing plans of top 3 carriers. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds up to 20 gigabytes of usage per line. Most reliable based on root metrics. US report. Comcast analysis of mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data from Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Q2 2022.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50.
Come into Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill September 23rd through September 25th for their fall clearance sale event. Take advantage of factory direct prices, one-of-a-kind opportunities, special pricing on floor models, and convenient financing. And save on new appliances from trusted brands like Miele, Bosch, Electrolux, LG, and Maytag. Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill for their fall clearance sale event September 23rd through September 25th for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
O'Reilly Auto Parts is here to keep your car on the road with our free loaner tool program. Your local store has more than 80 specialty tools available to rent for your next repair. Refundable deposit required. Ask our professional parts people about the loaner tool program today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Have you considered walking through another door? I don't mean to pursue another opportunity, but upgrading a door in your home. Now, if you are in fact looking for another opportunity, Golden State Window and Door can provide you with plenty. You can create renewed function and design for use indoors and out. You'll find modern options like Marvin's Elevate In-Swing French Door, Barn Doors by Trustyle, or Anderson Big Doors that welcome in natural light. Golden State Window and Door features a variety of materials, sizes, and glass options. You can get inspired by the many possibilities when you visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Click on virtual tours and you'll discover beautifully planned displays of doors and windows of all kinds that will spark your imagination. Then, talk with our builder or designer to see what might be a good fit for your home. Serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed. The Golf Mart, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee, serving Northern California golfers for over 30 years.
It's the bottom of the 9th, the game's on the line, and your small business needs a loan fast. What's your move? Go to OnDeck.com, America's largest online small business lender. With OnDeck, you can apply in minutes, and if approved, get your funds as soon as the same day. Go to OnDeck.com. Your loan is on deck. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah Chartered Industrial Bank member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Alanis Morissette.
When it first started, I would have my nightly panic attacks, but then I started getting really curious about all the sensations. Like, I just really started looking at, okay, so chest is, I got really kind of granular in observing the details of what was really going on with the breath. It's just survival strategy. It's cortisol cooking nonstop. Chronic stress is trauma.
More at imlistening.org. Talk saves lives.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a great price when you bundle home and auto, they offer you round-the-clock protection. Something you probably don't know, the average oak tree branch can hold 70 pounds. Something you probably do know, your neighbor is building their kid a treehouse. Something you probably don't know, a falling treehouse would take out your whole fence. Bundle your home and auto with Progressive and get more than a great price. Get round-the-clock protection. Something you know for the things you don't know. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMC FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky.
Hey, well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take it out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. I think Shasky's taking his morning roast deuce. I'm still here, though, with you guys on YouTube, Twitch, and the Comcast Business Text line, plus your phone calls coming up. Anthony Slater joining us in moments, our Warriors 95.7 The Game insider, because Bob Myers and Steve Kerr spoke yesterday, and the Warriors are back on the floor for training camp tomorrow. The champs are back, the champs are back, the champs are back. And then media day on Sunday. Then they head off to Japan. They'll take on the Wizards next Friday at 3 a.m. You can listen to it right here on 95.7 The Game, your home for Warriors basketball, as we just re-up with the Warriors. They're back with 95.7 The Game. They're back. The champs are back, Shasky.
I was eating peaches.
Oh, was that the excuse?
Yeah, and then I washed my hands because they were sticky from the peaches.
I've never seen you eat a slice of any fruit around here.
I'll bring them in during the break.
Fried chicken in the morning. I see you tear down baked chicken.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Michelle be hooking you up, dude. It's like you bring dinner for breakfast.
All right.
I've never seen you eat an apple, peach,
Save
banana.
it for the sideshow.
Oh, okay, sorry. The sideshow? That's what you
like
go.
that.
What about the sidebar? The sideshow?
I like that as the name of the.
You know who else I like?
Yeah.
Other than his football fandom, is Anthony Slater. He's the biggest offense fan west of the Mississippi. And he was texting me the other day.
What about Tommy Call?
Tommy Call. How many teams did Tommy? Tommy likes Washington, Miami, Kentucky. Tommy Call's confused when it comes to sports fandom. Slater sticks with his teams: the Guardians, the Dolphins, and of course he doesn't have an NBA team because he's a beat writer.
Is Tua elite?
Right. Well, he was like, "How much the Dolphins Niners tickets? I'm gonna have to splurge, man. Are coming out." I'm like, "Dude, relax. Dolphins may be 5-11 at that point. I don't know." Anthony Slater back on the roast. Let's be basketball season. What's up, Slater?
They also might be like 11-2. I don't know if you've been watching.
Oh my gosh! Here you go. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Are you doing the Waddle dance at home when the Dolphins score?
I would never publish that video, but it's possible.
Slater, man, you'll be a star if you should publish that Waddle dance. Could you imagine Slater the Waddle dance, Shasky, doing the Waddle dance?
Yeah, it seems like a totally hip dude. He's totally fine with that. I have no problem with that. In fact, you'd probably break it down in like video concepts with paragraphs in between, like he does his articles for the Warriors. I mean that sincerely. And you know what? I find this interesting. I'm ready for the Warriors season right now, Anthony, and they win the 4th title. It felt, as the year was going on, like even if they were to win it, man, that would be such an incredible accomplishment. Shockingly, they did. They won it all. And I keep coming back to they won now, and they were trying to develop for later, right? And the Niners are going through this right now with the Trey Lance thing. They were trying to win now and also develop simultaneously so they can continue to win. What does that mean for this year, though? Like, is it just like the kids can just be, part of the mix, or is there more impact to be had in this year now that they have already won that championship in their back pocket?
Yeah, I think that last year there was more pressure on like the idea of what they were doing, right? Like if they didn't win last season, we might have blamed it on the fact that they were also trying to develop. But now that I think you take a step back, they've already kind of checked the box of like win now, right? If we were I guess forecasting it. It's like, all right, you already won now. They haven't necessarily checked the box of develop now. I mean, obviously the pool ascension is huge, and that is a big win for their developmental department. But we're talking mostly about the 3 lottery picks: Moody, looks like he should be a rotation player. Kuminga, we'll see, a lot of talent. Wiseman, in his third season has played 39 games. So this was always the season, and I guess we didn't always talk about it this way, but this second season when they were going to kind of, I guess promote these guys into the rotation, basically hand them rotation spots, was always going to be probably the roughest when they were trying to mesh these eras together. Because last year was when it came down to it, it was all veterans, right? Think about the playoffs. I mean, it's Otto Porter, it's Gary Payton II, and then it's all the main guys. This season, they need more from the young guys, and I think this is the one where the develop now part of the plan will be judged more harshly, even though because they won the title, like we're not going to be like, beating down the doors of the franchise. Like, why did they do it?
95.7 The Game insider Anthony Slater breaking down some Warriors basketball. I promise, Anthony, I'm not going to ask you a 55-second question like my partner just did. So, what is the biggest storyline you'd like to ask? You do like to. What is the biggest storyline going into training camp? Because there's a lot of talk about the contracts: Draymond, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins. Is that your biggest storyline to you? The contracts and who could be gone after this season?
I mean, that's like, I guess, wider scope, biggest storyline surrounding the franchise. But I'm not sure. Like, we're not going to get answers necessarily at media day. Now, I'm curious how Draymond answers a potential question about it, how Poole answers a question. But Poole, they're not even meeting with Poole's representatives. Which, by the way, we got news on that yesterday. Right. They're going to meet after they come back from Tokyo. Maybe something gets done. Maybe it doesn't. Same with Wiggins and Draymond before the year. But if we're just talking about like what I want to know in the next couple weeks, I want to just see what James Wiseman looks like. Now, this is how many times have we discussed this and been asked this question over the last few years?
Just a few.
Gets stalled. Yeah,
just a few.
But he's apparently in the facility all the last month and a half, like playing every single pickup game he can get in. The knee's feeling good. He's feeling confident. We'll see how that translates to the court, but he's at least physically there. So it's time to find out, if he can help, how he can help, where he can help, what lineups, all that.
Where is Draymond at? Because he has that player option for $27 million after the season. And look, I don't see how he wouldn't pick that up. But are the Warriors even intrigued from what you've heard on maybe maxing him out this year and giving him an extension? Or is Poole priority 1? Is Wiggins priority 2 and Draymond priority 3?
Yeah, I mean, they're purposely not like, message it out there like, the list of priorities because, you want to create some issues in the locker room. Start saying who you prioritize above somebody else. As far as Draymond goes, I mean, he technically, like you said, has 2 years left. Now it's player option. He can go into unrestricted free agency, but you can tell there's less urgency, as in his situation from the Warriors side. In some ways, and, this is not necessarily always how you want to do it, but this could provide Draymond Green motivation this season, to go get one last big contract if he plays really well. And a way he wouldn't pick up that option is if he has, a defensive player of the year type season and he can walk into free agency and command that elsewhere, force the Warriors to pay big. To me, Poole, and you're already kind of hearing it yesterday, Poole seems to be on the top of their urgency list. Now, he actually has a deadline, whereas Draymond and Wiggins could theoretically sign extensions during the season. I'm not saying they will, but they could. Poole, if he does not get an extension signed by October 17th, the day before the season, he's going to restricted free agency next summer. And to me, if you look at all three situations, who out of those three is likely to just spike his money into a different range? I don't think Wiggins is going to play himself into any crazy more money. I don't think Draymond's going to play himself into more money. Poole is the one, if you just follow his career path, who could just have a monster offensive season, and suddenly you're talking a max salary that starts at $33 million. Whereas maybe this next month, if you can work out team and player at something in like the 120 range, something like that.
Wow, it's a lot of money. I mean, just for anybody. I'm not saying that he's not worth it. He's absolutely worth it. I feel like we're burying the lead here, guys. I'm looking at Brady fatigue around the country. I'm looking at LeBron fatigue around the country. Aaron Judge seems to be one of the stars right now in all of sports, but he's not the star that Steph Curry is. Him making the cover of Rolling Stone, to me, that was very impactful. Is he the biggest star currently in sports?
I don't know. I mean, you mentioned Brady. I don't know, Q rating, how do we judge that? I mean, I think obviously, we live in the Bay Area, so if we had to judge it from what we hear on a daily basis, you'd go with that. Maybe if you lived in Florida or New England, it'd be Brady. LeBron, obviously, regardless of if, I guess, feelings, the Laker move has not, I don't think, been as sparkling as he hoped it would be. But if you're just talking about like recognizable names, I mean, I don't know if he's above Steph. To generally answer your question, I mean, Steph is like a top 3, top 5 athlete in the world. I mean, there's no question about that. And then the other thing that Steph clearly seems to be doing is what Brady and LeBron did, which is elongating his prime, which makes him increasingly more famous as it goes on. I think Brady's become a lot more popular, like positively over the last 3, 4, 5 years. And I think it's because people are just like, how is he doing this? It's like an unbelievable physical feat. He's playing an NFL quarterback at age 45. I think people will continue over the next few years to go like, how is Steph still this good at this age? And I think we saw that last year.
Yeah, what's the encore look like for him this year? I mean, like that's what I keep coming back to. He wins his 4th championship. I think it's the greatest game in Warrior history, Game 4. I mean, it's his individually greatest moment on a stage like that. His Game 4 is one of the greatest games in any sport that I've ever seen. Like, how does he even top what he did last year? Or is this just one big celebration of Steph this year?
Yeah, man, I don't think he needs to top it. He just needs to have another, like, top 6 player
just
in the
another MVP season. I'm not ripping you.
And his percentages were down. It's crazy, too, Slater, because his percentages were down in the regular season, and yet we all forget about it because of his epic finals performance.
Yeah, I mean, we spent, like, the middle parts of last regular season, like, wondering about his three-point shot. Even people like, did he get too buff? Is he But remember the record chase? I mean, that weighed on him last season. And that's just, like, also the shot probably won't be 2006 unanimous MVP again, where he's, like, shooting an absurd amount of per game and hitting 45% of them, which is fine. I think the big thing, like, the guy keeps himself in such elite shape, and that showed itself in the playoffs. That showed itself, I thought, most in the West Finals when Luka was wearing down and Jason Kidd's on the podium talking about how good a shape Steph's in, and it's kind of not necessarily a subtle shot at Luka, but it's kind of like hey, if you want to be at this level, get in shape this summer.
Right.
And that's not what you normally hear when a 34-year-old is facing a 23-year-old. It's just like that to me spoke so much to what Steph does, and also to why I'm confident coming into this season. Like, I don't think you're suddenly going to see Steph, Game 3 of the season, like, man, like, I don't know, is he not in that good a shape? Like, is he declining? The way he keeps himself physically, I just think any type of decline over the next 6 seasons is going to be so gradual because he's going to fight it off so well. Also, the family ages very well. Steph Curry played till he was, 37 years old in threes.
Yeah.
Seth, they mature later in their careers. They mature at the 29, 30 range. And then age gracefully, and obviously the skill, the hand-eye coordination, that always ages better than athleticism.
That's a great point. Anthony Slater, our 95.7 The Game Insider here on the roast. Last one for you. Will anybody ask Curry about some of the details in that Rolling Stones article, specifically the Kevin Durant noise where, he asked Bob and Steve, and they had the conversation. A lot of Warrior fans are like, no, we don't want KD back. But we all understand you got to have that conversation. It's Kevin freaking Durant. Will you ask that question? Is that the question you want to ask Steph tomorrow, or Sunday at Media Day?
No, not really, because, you knew they were kind of kind of juggling it around a little bit behind the scenes. It never got anywhere close. Like, this wasn't like, it was at the 1 yard line and they're calling Steph, like, do we pull the trigger or not? Like, they weren't even really discussing, possible packages. It was just kind of floated, and clearly Steph in the interview, he's willing to put his name on it, I think, and it's been theorized. I think he just wants that Durant era to be looked back on more, with
positive
light.
Longingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I understand, right? I mean, that was one of the best runs in NBA history, 3-year runs in NBA history, and it's still a little bit like in Oklahoma City. It's still tough for the local people to talk about. It's just weird that the 2 places Durant left, that's how it is. So I think that it was more like that. As far as what question I want to ask Steph, I think the Durant stuff, not only is it in the past, it was never actually going to happen this summer. I'm more curious, what's the hunger level of this team this season? I mean, they fed off this just desire to get back to the mountaintop last season. They got back. What's left? That's kind of my
Anthony, I dare you, double dog dare you to ask Steph Curry, are the 49ers better with Jimmy Garoppolo than they are with Trey Lance?
I feel like you guys probably get him on the radio show at some point during the season. I feel like that's a Shasky question. question.
It
That
is
is a Shasky question.
Well, I would also ask him about the President's Cup that's going on this week and how both teams have been gutted because of the Live Tour. But that's neither here nor there. I want someone to ask him that question just for fun.
Anybody. You think Klay Thompson watches football still? Is he still a football fan?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I know he's watched a lot of Dodger baseball. I know.
Why you got to do that to me?
Yeah, I mean.
You brought it up.
You did bring it up. That's an interesting one, the hunger level, especially with the Clippers. A lot of people talking about the Clippers and hyping them up. Hey, are the Warriors
you
the
really
favorites
talking
coming
about
in?
the Clippers on a football Friday?
We're going to get you out of here, Slater. Are the Warriors the favorites, though? Because I feel like, to your point about, hey, is the hunger there or whatnot, I'm hearing a lot about the Clippers, Anthony, but how can anybody not pick the Warriors and try to go back-to-back?
Yeah, look, if you were just like, you have to pick a team to win the West, I would pick them. But if you said Warriors are the field, I'd pick the field. I think it's kind of wide open. Denver's vaulting maybe back into contention with Murray back. You mentioned the Clippers. The West is, to me, like the West was wide open last season. The Warriors kind of walked through the front door. They weren't some Goliaths, and now they're bringing their top six back. So, again, slight favorites in the West. I probably would have said Celtics were favorites to win the title, but I'm not sure I'm saying that anymore. So, I mean, they have as good a chance as anybody.
Yeah, we'll leave that Celtics situation alone. Press conference coming up, I believe, at 11 o'clock in Boston, or 2 o'clock in Boston. Could be wrong there. Anthony, always good to hear from you. Basketball season's here. I'll see you on Sunday at Media Day.
All right, fellas.
Thanks for the time,
Thanks,
as always.
Anthony
Slater, our 95.7 The Game Insider. I didn't mean to. I just shouldn't have done that to you, man. Your long question. You always do that when you're.
Well, I was trying to set something up.
Stretch. It's like, But no, Slater's always good. And basketball season. Where's your bad, Shasky?
I know. I'm going to pivot real quick. Tim Kawakami was on with Damon and Ratto yesterday. He said first time in 22 years he will not be at a Warrior Media Day because he's going to be in Denver.
That's insane, huh?
And the reason why I bring up Tim Kawakami is because I was listening to him, obviously, with Damon and Ratto.
I know, enjoyed 95.7 The Game.
It was amazing. It's good to see that he's finally
show.
shown, that the dark side is the right side. So we're over here at Death Row, and he tweeted out earlier today, the 49ers opened this week 2.5-point underdogs in Denver. That was on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Now they're 1.5-point favorites. The 4-point swing is about as clear as Vegas can get about the new 49ers circumstances. Now, a couple of points here I want to make. So they started off as underdogs. Now
they're favorites.
Why do we do this transitive property when it comes to Vegas? Why do we do this? I'm asking you,
It's because the sharp bettors are saying that the Niners are clearly going to win this game. A 4-point swing just doesn't happen like that. But is it clear because of Jimmy Garoppolo, or is it clear because of the Broncos' injuries?
Well, and also the lack of faith in Hackett.
Right.
The public's lack of faith. So,
But it's also sharp money, too.
I'm not a bettor.
Early on. Yeah.
I'm not a bettor. So the reason why I ask you is why do we put so much weight into what Vegas thinks?
By the way, the Celtics conference is happening now.
Oh.
Some people do. Well, it's an indicator of how the sharp experts, the experts who study this stuff on a week in and week out basis, on how they're feeling. And for the most part, they're right? The public.
Are they?
Yeah. I mean, Vegas usually wins.
Well,
Vegas usually wins.
The line is set up so that they get even money on either side.
Yeah, but they want to win too. But when you look at this line, the 2.5, right? And then you see, okay, Jimmy's back. Niners look good. And then you couple that with the Broncos' injuries and the way they played. Maybe we've overrated the Denver Broncos. And so the Sharps are like 2.5. We think the Niners are going to win this game outright. Let's go ahead and bet the money. Now, I don't know when this live movement changed. Because when the live movement happens on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's the public coming in betting on the money. But if it happens early in the week, like a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, that's the sharp bettors. And some people look at that stuff, and for the most part, the Sharps are right. The Sharps are always on the right side.
If I pulled 49er fans and I said, Sunday midway through that game, or I guess early in that game, are the Niners going to beat Denver? I'd be like, I don't know.
I think it's a coin flip game.
Right? And then now that we've got Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, you're asking me the question, are the 49ers going to beat Denver? I have the same response. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand why there's all these dramatic swings. I view it very comparable to what they had in the situation before Jimmy was in there.
Right.
And that's not a me slamming Jimmy. It's a me not really understanding how good Denver is.
Now,
I don't know how good Denver is.
Exactly.
I fear their defensive line.
What if Trey doesn't get hurt and the Niners beat the Seahawks 28-7? They beat them by the same exact score. My feeling is the spread would have changed again. And add the fact that George Kittle's playing.
No, that's
a factor too.
That I think is a good one.
I don't think it's all tied to Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what I'm saying here.
Quarterback moves the needle. They say that the best position players in the league are only worth like a point or something. But I'm not. I'm not as educated as you are.
We watched the 49ers. How important is George Kittle to this offense?
I would say he's very vital.
All right,
very vital.
How important is Jerry Jeudy to the Denver Broncos?
I think he's vital.
All right. How important is Justice Simmons at safety?
I think he's very important.
DJ Jones on defensive line. Got 3 years and $30 million.
Probably an overpay, but I really like DJ Jones.
Right. So you add that with the fact that Jimmy is back, and we all know who Jimmy is, and the Niners are getting healthier. I think all that is a factor. It's just not tied to Jimmy Garoppolo. Because I truly believe if Trey Lance is playing this game, and they're coming off a 27-7 win over Seattle, hypothetically, I know it's a hypothetical, but if Trey Lance and the Niners win 27-7 against Seattle, and we know George Kittle's coming back, I still believe the Niners are 1-point favorites or 2-point favorites on the road. Think about the odds for the Super Bowl and where the Niners were at. Trey Lance is playing quarterback, and a lot of people were picking the Niners to go deep into the playoffs with Trey Lance at quarterback. So I think it's not just an indictment on Jimmy Garoppolo. I say all that to say it's not just all tied to number 10.
Yeah, it feels to me, though, like the public sentiment is now, because we watched it this morning where everyone was picking the 49ers on ESPN and Fox and all the different sports shows. Everybody lays out, they go through every game, and everybody, the whole panel's picking the 49ers. And I'm like, I don't really like that.
Yeah,
I because I feel like we're not accounting for the wild shenanigans of Russ.
You know what the kiss of death is when you need to be worried? Is when Guru bets on your football team.
Why you got to do him like that?
No, because he bet on Florida State last week, and I said, damn it, Guru.
Guru does not have any power over whether your team's going to win or lose.
When he bets on your team, go the other way. Do not liquidate all assets. He took Pittsburgh yesterday plus 4.5, and everybody's like, oh, we got to take Cleveland.
What's his record?
Spinoni, come on.
Timeline.
What's his record this year in betting?
11-19. Oof. Spinoni, what'd you say?
It was not good.
It was not good.
Your boy was 9-7 last week, though. 10-7 now.
Who, you?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not talking about you, Spinoni. We don't care about your bets.
Make it about me.
Shout out to the Morning Roast.
Stay off of my timeline.
707, guys. Shout out to the Morning Roast. I couldn't get through my day without you.
I told Sam Lubman, and we were told that Guru would make an appearance on Saturday at our little baseball event that we're going to do.
Guru's not coming.
At 11 o'clock at Balboa Park here in San Francisco.
Is not coming.
And I told him, you are setting yourself up for being let down.
Guru is not coming all the way to the city.
Some extended member of his family.
I twisted his arm a little bit on it yesterday.
Dude,
think he might be able to show up.
Guru is not coming to the city at 11 a.m.
Yeah, expect one of his distant
Saturday.
relatives to pass away that morning.
It's college football. He'll be tweeting about college football. Why would you do that? That's love.
The caddy is broken.
What's coming up on Game sponsored by the San Diego Tourism Authority. Benjamin Albright, Mike Silver's best friend, joining the roast here on 95.7 The Game.
What's the best way to get hyped up for Niners Broncos? Listen to the Kickoff Show with Larry Krueger and Lorenzo Neal.
The difference is I've been out there with Steve McNair, you haven't. The difference is I've been out there with Kelly Smith, you haven't. The difference is I've seen this game and played it, you haven't.
This is the Bay Area's sports station, 95.7 The Game.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc., subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you are looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill September 23rd through September 25th for their fall clearance sale event and take advantage of one-of-a-kind opportunities. Visit Friedman's Appliance Fall Clearance Sale event for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
Progressive Insurance protects people's cars, homes, and other vehicles. But if you've ever seen our commercials or even just heard our name, you probably already knew that. What you may not know is that we support Humble Design, a nonprofit that furnishes homes for families and veterans emerging from homelessness. Because a little help goes a long way. And a lot of help, well, you get the idea. Now, if you already knew all of this about Progressive Insurance, we're impressed. We'll have to find something else cool to tell you next time. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
On the south side, we got 6 poly panels. And please, make sure they're flush.
Kwame is converting everyone on the block to solar power.
Please get a crew to wrap up 202 South Dwayne.
He needs more certified installers before the sun sets on his business boom.
Well, let's pick up the pace. We got a long day.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Dancing crew, trip for 2, nail the final interview. Game with Doug, brand new mug. Come here, kid, give me a hug. The more you want to do, the more we want to do. Boosters designed for COVID-19 variants are now available. If you've had your primary series, schedule an updated COVID-19 booster appointment as soon as you're eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
In San Francisco today, morning showers, otherwise sunny, highs in the mid-60s.
Weather brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Your neighborhood Ashley store has all the styles, selection, and value you'll need to invite fall in this season. Find furniture you'll love by shopping locally or visit ashley.com today.
Score big with Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with the game-changing speed of supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers the field and then some. And blocks billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you protected at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas.
Kevin Hart's Reality Check Tour is coming to Chase Center on October 1st. And 95.7 The Game has your tickets. Listen to Willard and Debs all this week around 10:30 for your chance to win.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
All right, Shasky showing off the custom jersey, the number 1 with the Shasky on it. It's clean, man. Really clean. Number 1's a good number on you. It's a good number.
Slimming effect.
I just look good, man. You look like a baller in that number 1.
You know, I could play offense and defense. Quarterback, playmaker.
You are a playmaker.
I got body envy.
Why y'all doing good like that? By the way, there's a crazy report. We're not going to get into it, but Arizona State staffers apparently were leaking info to help opponents and get Herm Edwards fired, as he was fired off the field at Arizona State last week. Herm didn't deserve that.
Sabotaging people?
Sabotage Herb. Boy, like Darren Erman, sabotaging Mark Jackson. Let's not get into that.
You play to win the game.
Let's not get into that. No. But let's get into Benjamin Albright, who's in Denver. We'll take your calls in just a second. 888-957-9570. Everybody's jacked up for Albright to be back on the show. Last time he made some airwaves. Benjamin Albright is a very, very fun guest on the Morning Roast. He knows everything about the NFL. Albright NFL on Twitter. And of course, host, reporter, and analyst at the Broncos flagship station, KOA Colorado. Benjamin, good morning again, man. Good to have you back on the show. And before we break down this game, it feels like if Sean Payton wants that Denver Broncos job after the season, he will get that job after the season because the early reports on Nathaniel Hackett is not so good.
Well, it's good to hear from you guys again. Let's start there. And I understand the last time I was on, there was a little bit of attention with some comments I made, and we'll hope to try to top that today. As far as Nathaniel Hackett goes, I think he's a young coach that's trying to learn, and Sean Payton's going to have his pick of jobs after this season. My guess and my gut says Dallas, but he's going to have his pick of jobs. He's Sean Payton. As far as Hackett goes, it's tough because the glaring missteps that he's made, or what's being talked about and what aren't being talked about, is that the Broncos are number 1 in the NFL in yards per drive, number 6 in the NFL in total yards. They're just not finishing in the end zone. And, maybe they need to get on Bang Bros and learn how to finish, because at this point, these guys are sitting there fumbling the football on the 1 yard line over and over again and not getting it done with the scoring. So, I look at what Denver's doing, and I see a team that's accumulating yardage. They're just not getting it in the end zone and getting the points.
So is that a byproduct of them, shooting themselves in the foot, or this is just kind of what we should expect from kind of a new unit, a new team, new coaching? Or are they I don't know what to make of them through 2 games, I guess is where I'm going at. Is this just a work in progress?
Well, it's both. That's the thing. We don't know what to make of them, but the underlying things look positive. The problem is it's just not ending up in points. And they opened the season with Seattle where they fumbled the football twice on the 1 yard line in back-to-back possessions. That hasn't happened since 1987, since scab players were playing in the straight year. It's just not something that happens. And so you start to look at all these things and they add up. The delay of game penalties, that bizarre go for the 64-yard field goal rather than the 4th and 5 with Russ, and all that stuff starts to compound, and you say, well, we've got a coach that's in over his head. Well, I don't know that he's in over his head, but he's certainly young and learning on the job. But the other things that are going on here make it look even worse than it is.
Has Russ been as advertised for Bronco fans?
Well, in practice he had. In the games, no, he really hasn't, if we're being honest. And I think fans had unrealistic expectations when it came to Russ was, what he was going to bring to the table. But, at the same time, what I saw in practice was a player who still has it. What I'm seeing in games is a player that looks like he might not.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there was against the Texans, there was I don't remember which down it was, but they had a goal-to-go situation. They're inside the 5. All Russ had to do was take off 3 yards and scramble on a boot, and he had it free and clear, and he chose not to. He tried to throw the ball, and he threw the ball, and it wound up in an incompletion. He literally had to take 2 steps to get in the end zone. He just didn't do it. Through 3 games, we're talking about a guy who's got, 3 carries for less than 10 yards? That's not Russell Wilson. So, looking at him out there, he just looks like he's hesitant to run the football, doesn't really want to do that, and there are some things that feel like they're off with the deep ball, which has normally been his bread and butter. So, it feels like a player that's not his optimal self.
Benjamin Albright, host, reporter, analyst at the Broncos flagship station, Broncos Insider here on the Morning Roast. Before we switch over to the 49ers, because I know you have some thoughts on Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, Kyle Shanahan, this injury list for the Denver Broncos is long. You may not see Jerry Jeudy Sunday Night Football. No, we're not going to see Justice Simmons, your star safety there. Patrick's saying, what's going on with the Broncos and the injuries? Who's playing, who's not?
Well, most of those guys are going to play. They're overdoing it with the injury report right now. I don't know why, but they are. I think one of the guys is on there with a hangnail.
Will Jeudy play?
Yeah, I think Pat Surtain will play. I don't think Jerry Judy's going to play.
Okay.
We'll see. Both those guys are still day to day, but my gut says, based on the way they practiced, I don't think that's gonna. I don't think Judy will, and Surtain, I would put it at 85% he does. Most of those other guys are going to play. I think you mentioned, obviously you're not going to see Justin Simmons in that game. You're not going to see probably Quinn Meinerz in that game. Billy Turner's a coin flip, but the rest of those guys, you're probably going to see them play.
All right, now switching over to the 49ers. What did you make of what happened in the aftermath of the Trey Lance news? Broken ankle, he's out for the rest of the season. Jimmy Garoppolo's back. Some players may have felt like, hey, he gives us a better chance to win. I don't know. It's been crazy here in the Bay Area. Just what's your overall thoughts on that quarterback position here in San Francisco?
Well, I think that unfortunate injury gives a lot of people who are making things up the opportunity to go back and use some revisionist history to justify their takes. As far as the Niners backdoored their way back into Jimmy Garoppolo. There was no trade market for him. They asked him to come back at a hugely reduced salary, and they wound up lucking into having a situation where a guy that already knows the offense and the players gets to guide the team for the rest of the season. I wish him nothing but success in that, but outside of course, Sunday night. But in the end, this wasn't the plan. Like all these people that are trying to tell you this was the plan are laughably false, and you can see that very obviously from the fact that the Niners tried to trade all those draft picks for Trey Lance. They did everything they could to move Jimmy Garoppolo, and in the offseason couldn't get anything better than a third rounder as an offer. So, in the end, I think that people are going to use results to justify the things that they said that weren't true. But the Niners luck into a good situation. It could be disaster. I mean, imagine if it was Brock Purdy the rest of the year. I don't think people would have as much confidence around the Bay Area.
No, I'm with you on that. So then how do you view the 49ers, especially this weekend? Are they the team that should be the favorite? We were talking that opened at the beginning of the week that the Broncos were favored, and now the 49ers are favored. It's a big 4-point swing. Do you make anything of that?
I don't make anything of that in terms of who the quarterback is. I think Denver would rather have Jimmy Garoppolo out there to defend. He doesn't have the dynamic ability with his legs. The book on Jimmy Garoppolo is pretty much out there. He's a middling velocity passer, highly efficient, mostly in breaking routes, that kind of stuff. Loves to move to his right, won't take off on you. So I think in terms of football, you'd rather have Garoppolo out there. That said, Jimmy has played well before. If he's got a good enough cast around him, he can win games, and so that bodes, I think, for the Niners in the long haul. In terms of this game, I think at altitude at Denver, I think Denver's being slept on a little bit. I mean,
I do too.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm worried about Denver.
It's a tough place to play.
And Chubb versus McGlinchey, to me, is a matchup that it frightens me.
Well, you're going to have Gregory, I think, on that side, actually.
Okay.
McGlinchey most of the time. Gregory's a speed guy, and I think he will give him a little bit of fits. I think Trent's going to erase whoever's on his side, whether that's Chubb or Baron Browning, whoever's in the rotation there. Trent's obviously going to take them out of the picture. You remember the old Pros versus Joes show?
Oh, yeah. No doubt. We had a friend that participated in it.
The other day. Yeah. Yeah, I saw Trent the other day. He said, if you gave me 10 rushes, I could get by Trent. I was like, if you gave me 100, I would get laughed at every single time. Trent's a great player. McGlinchey, a little bit of the athleticism there. I think Gregory can take advantage. But I think Denver's getting a little slept on here just because of the mistakes and the early growing pains. Again, remember, this is the number 1 team in the NFL in yards per drive and number 6 in total offense. They just haven't scored points, and that's going to change at some point. They're not going to forget how to move the football. They will learn how to score.
And that's the thing. They should have won the Seattle game. They dominated that second half. I wanted to get back to Jimmy for a second because you had some very interesting critiques of him. And look, we agree. We've watched every single snap of Jimmy Garoppolo out here in the Bay Area, and I'm sure you have. Should we recalibrate our expectations, though? Because there was a lot of unknowns with Trey Lance. I thought Trey Lance was going to be special. I'm in the camp of Trey Lance could be a really, really good quarterback. But, Super Bowl aspirations now that Jimmy is back, I think that's fair, right?
I think that there's certainly, win the division is certainly fair. Look at the rest of that division. You've got a Cardinals team that they can't figure it out, really. They did against the Raiders, but it's the Raiders. You've got a Seattle team that's frankly bad, even though they beat us, and I'm willing to admit we got beat by a bad football team. And then you've got the Rams, and Matt Stafford been taking those PRP injections in his elbow. He's already got that arm fatigue. That's actual real arm fatigue, by the way, not fake reports about arm fatigue. I think it's a division that's up for grabs. So I think you win the division, anything's fair game. We've seen Jimmy get to the Super Bowl before. We've seen that happen. We know it can happen. So I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
Benjamin Albright, last question for you here. From the Denver perspective, Mike Shanahan in the Ring of Honor. wins the 2 Super Bowls with John Elway, his son on the sidelines during the Super Bowl, holding the cords and stuff. Now he's returning home. Does that do anything for the local fan base out there? Is there any talk of that at all?
There is, but it's a little more nuanced than that, because when the Broncos hired Vance Joseph, Kyle Shanahan was the other candidate for Denver, and that got vetoed because of some internal politics. He interviewed here.
That's right, he did.
That got vetoed because of some internal politics, so they wound up with Vance Joseph. Vance was a total flop, and, we've seen the success that Kyle's had since then, and the entire league is taking his staff, and guys that do his offense. So, I think for the Denver fan base, it does do something.
Who needs this win more, Benjamin, in your opinion? I know we do this stuff in Sports Talk Radio, but we were throwing out Jimmy Garoppolo, Kyle Shanahan, George Kittle, who should make his season debut. Hackett, Nathaniel Hackett, Russell Wilson. Who needs this win more on each side? Break down the Broncos and then the Niners side.
Well, I think if we're looking at things, it depends on what lens we're looking through. Nathaniel Hackett needs this to stop this national media. I mean, he's the punching bag for everybody the last 2 weeks, and to a lot of degrees, rightfully so. So I think he needs it the most. If we're looking at this from a football wins standpoint, I don't think Denver's a Super Bowl contender. They could make the playoffs, but I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. Right. So if we're looking at this from a football perspective, I think Kyle Shanahan needs to win more. You got to stack wins in the NFL, and he's got the opportunity to do that right now. Pick up some wins and get ahead in the division. So I think, it depends on which lens you look at it through.
All right, Benjamin, you're always good
Great
to us,
stuff.
man. Good stuff as always. We'll continue to watch your reports on Twitter. I know you'll be covering that game. Big-time game, Sunday Night Football in Power Field. Niners and Broncos, man. It's a huge game.
Yeah, I'll see you guys. Look for me down on the sideline.
Sounds
Absolutely.
good.
Benjamin Albright
Just
here on the
always
Morning
bringing
Roast.
nuggets.
95.7 the game. He had a great line in there. I don't know if we can repeat it. I'm not going to repeat it. If you want to go
You
ahead
mean
and
that Hackett needs a win?
No,
for,
we're talking about this. We're talking about at the beginning of the interview. He came out on a fire.
He did.
And he talked about finishing.
Like Mortal Kombat?
No,
Finish him.
He's talking about Mortal Kombat.
Who's your favorite Mortal Kombat character?
I use Sub-Zero a lot.
Me too. Or Scorpion.
Scorpion, yeah. Get over here.
Yeah, that was so sick.
Yeah, that was sick. Scorpion was sick. Jax, it was all right. Who's Liu Kang?
Liu Kang was pretty sweet.
Liu Kang was sick.
I always confuse Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, the characters.
Street Fighter is so much better, though.
Well,
Can you admit that?
It came out a little before, didn't it?
Yes.
Didn't it come out a little
Street
before?
Fighter's the original. Yeah, Guile, Ryu, Kid, Mid Bison, Sagat, Dawson.
Look at you.
E Honda.
Balrog.
Sick. Who's Vega?
Yeah.
Vega with the claws and the mask. Chun-Li was sick.
Yeah. Would you have the rapid hits?
Yeah. Did you beat the game with like every single character?
You had to.
You had to, right?
Yeah.
You had to.
Yeah.
I loved it. Love Street Fighter.
I love both those games.
See, I'm not even going to read some of these comments.
Raiden. How did we sleep on Raiden?
Yeah, we did.
You have a Raiden hat.
Do I?
Yeah, you've worn it before. It's like a straw hat.
Oh, the Niner. Yeah. The straw hat. I was wearing it in Europe. Yeah. The Raiden hat. Yeah. The Raiden hat. What about our hats at training camp?
Well,
I'm not going to lie, Shasky.
I know. You had FOMO.
No, I did have FOMO, but I'm disappointed in you.
Why?
Because you didn't wear the hats this year at training camp.
Yeah, well, it rained one day. The fog was out. Like, it wasn't hot weather. It wasn't as hot as it was the year before.
I wanted you in the Saban hat.
I know.
Trey's first training camp.
I know.
I tell you what. You miss a training camp next year. I'll just say that.
I mean, if you thought this year's training camp was a circus.
Next year?
Oh, my goodness. Who do you think needs this win the most? Of all those people that you laid out, there's Hackett, there's Russ, there's Jimmy Garoppolo, there's Kyle Shanahan, of course. Each team needs the win. If we were to just point at an individual who needs like a deep breath win, who's the guy that you think needs a deep breath win?
Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan looks like he's gotten no sleep this week. A lot of questions about his usage of Trey Lance. We've beaten him up this week. By the way, nobody is saying he should be fired. Let me just put that out there. And we're not blaming the play on Shanahan. We're blaming the totality in which he ran Trey Lance. We all saw it coming when you run a quarterback like that. But he could quiet all the noise.
The job is criticizing.
Yeah, exactly.
Wins and losses.
Wins and losses.
Opinions.
Jimmy's going to have his time to get a big win. This whole season is important for Jimmy. These are bank account games for him. He wins, money goes up. He loses, money goes down.
Somewhere Windhorse is like, no, it's a checkbook game.
Windhorse is, hey, thank you, Windhorse, for the little bank account. Brian Windhorse, can't wait to see you at a game very soon.
What is going on in Utah?
I can't believe all the people at Boston, the ESPN, you guys went really hard on Brian Windhorse. He didn't deserve that. And Nick Friedel sitting there, he just didn't know what he got himself into.
That fool walked into the Lions' den and had no idea it was Mortal Kombat.
I'm not going to lie to you. There were some Warriors personnel who came up to me and was like, you and Shasky, thank you for that. Thank you very much. It was great. Shanahan. I'm going with Shanahan.
I'm with you with Shanahan. I'm more than anyone. I think also because I want to see him get the best out of Jimmy and not put him in a position to where he's overexposed or getting hit too often. To me, the number one thing in this game, everyone's like, run the ball.
Right.
Limit the amount of hits Jimmy takes.
Yeah.
He has got to stay healthy. Mm-hmm. Jimmy goes down, season's over.
Yep.
Like I'm not knocking Brock Purdy. We just don't know. But if Jimmy goes down, season's over. If Jimmy stays healthy and upright, I feel really good about their chances moving forward.
I'm trying not to look at some of these comments on YouTube, Shasky. If you just want to scroll up and see some of the things that's happening, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. Not fun at all. By the way, the Udoka news is coming out here. Brad Stevens got emotional talking about the impact of women within the Celtics organization. Nobody can control Twitter speculation and Reddit BS, but I do think we as an organization have a responsibility to support them. They're still not telling us what really happened. They just did a lot of research.
I don't think we're ever going to know.
Well, somebody's going to break this stuff down. Somebody is going to come out with this stuff and leak it.
Well, there's a lot going on the internet when it comes to Doc Rivers liking a bunch of things online. The Adam Levine stuff. I watched that woman's TikTok on Adam Levine. He's a weirdo.
Oh, she came out and
yeah, she did a whole TikTok video, which I raised an eyebrow on for a variety of reasons, but that doesn't take away from Adam Levine being a weirdo.
Yeah, wow.
But the fact you put it out there like that, she's like, I want to be honest, and went through the whole thing. She's no saint either, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo, though.
Also, you know who else is a weirdo? DJ Academics. I don't know if you know who he is.
He's been a dork.
What a clown. What a clown. I don't want people to go out there and get beat up, but somebody needs to backhand the hell out of him. DJ Academics is
I don't want anyone to get beat up, but give him a Hollywood shot.
Dude, seriously. This guy's ripping LL Cool J, old rappers, new rappers.
LL
he rose to Tekashi 6ix9ine. Like, DJ Academics.
What did he do now?
He's just ripping people for no reason. He thinks he's such a factor. He's ripping BET. He's ripping everybody. He goes, I got the biggest platform. I'm the dude in hip-hop. Like, you're a clown. You're a clown.
Yeah, I'll still take Bill Bellamy and Tigga over him all day.
All day long. All day long.
I'll even take Sway. We sleep on how influential Sway was.
No, he's still influential.
I love Sway.
Yeah, I love him.
When he's at the beginning of the RBL song, Bounce to This.
Bounce to This is great. So, Sunday Night Football. When we come back in here Monday morning, I know Spadoni wants to hop in here.
I was just going to say, you guys see Kanye West finally acknowledge that Sway was right?
He had all the answers.
The how Sway means?
Well, Sway admitted that he had the apparel line and that failed. He was, I lost a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And it was, what was it, like 10 years ago? 8 years ago?
10, yeah.
Yeah, and him and Kanye were arguing. Kanye, by the way, dude, and Goo, I love you. Goo, I know you're out there. The sunglasses indoors while being interviewed. It's just an odd look. I'm not saying, look, I get it. You do you. He's Jordan.
Hey.
There's only one of them.
So Guru can't do it?
Guru looks great in the shades. It is just an odd look.
So you know what I'm going to do
Monday?
Monday?
People want to see into your eyes.
Monday, I'm coming in when the Niners beat the Broncos on Sunday, even though Benjamin Albright's right, the Broncos are being slept on. I don't like it.
That's why I'm scared about the Broncos.
Their defense has
been playing well. This year. I slept on the Bears, and the Bears aren't even close to as good as what the Broncos, at least what I believe the Broncos to be.
Right. No, I'm not sleeping on the Broncos at all. I think this is going to be a tough game. But I do believe we walk back into the studio with the 49ers at 2-1. And I may wear shades for you, Shasky. I may wear shades for you inside the studio just to tick you off.
The Jim McMahon, you'll wear a visor.
No visor.
The LaDainian Tomlinson, you'll have a coat on the sideline with a visor not moving.
What did not look? You think we're walking back in here Monday morning with a win?
I think it's going to be a one-possession game, and I got the Niners winning by a field goal. And I don't even know why I'm saying that because I have no feel for this game whatsoever. I'm just a Niner fan and I want to see them win. But I honestly, B, if you told me that the Broncos had the ball with a minute to go, I think they win. I think if the Niners have the ball with a minute to go, I think they win.
How's it going to feel, Bret Hart glasses on Monday? How's it going to feel rooting for Jimmy?
I told you always Bret the Hitman Hart's married to a girl from San Francisco.
Is he really?
Yeah.
He's got a sister, too.
Bret the Hitman Hart?
Yeah, I think he's married a black chick. Yeah, he got a sister.
Yeah, she's from San Francisco.
Yeah, look at Bret. Look at Bret. He seasons his food. I should have said that. Why did I say that? Shasky. Listen to Shasky. Every drop back with Jimmy Garoppolo, the Jimmy no throws. It's a thing. It's a thing. How is it going to feel like not only rooting for the 49ers, but seeing Jimmy G under center? Stay focused, my man. Stay focused.
It's going to be very odd to see him running out there with the team. Dun, dun, oh, what's the Sunday night music? I want the music. Give me the music.
Give us the music, so sassy.
I'm rattled.
That line on the microphone.
I'm rattled.
You're ready to that line on the microphone. Live, man.
I'm rattled.
Why, all the things you done said today.
I know.
All the things.
You said it, not me, and it'll get. On Mike Tirico. After the much maligned shoulder surgery, losing in the NFC Championship game with an interception after an Aaron Donald stuff. Jimmy Garoppolo is back after the number 3 overall pick breaks his ankle, and the San Francisco 49ers are looking to get back into above 500 against a familiar foe in Russell Wilson.
How cool is it to have Mike Tirico on the call?
I love Tirico.
This is a monster.
It's going to be great.
This is Sunday Night Football.
The worst part is going to be, your boy Florio before with Rodney Hudson and everybody.
You love Florio.
I'm telling
he's watching this game.
Jimmy's going to be pissing down his leg. You know how he always talks. He's going to, I guarantee you, he is going to crush Jimmy G.
Jimmy crapped his pants.
And this is the Jimmy we always knew, that he's just not good enough. And you know he's going to rip him.
Gosh.
You know he is.
Jimmy's back on prime time. It's time to flex on a Friday.